When you're craving the taste of
Lord, I'm free. Amarillo by morning.
This is 1490 KOVC AM Valley City and 96.3 K242CZ Valley City.
The voice of the Valley.
Gentlemen, we welcome you here tonight to the W.E. Osmond Fieldhouse for our coverage of Valley City State University Viking basketball on the voice of the Vikings, the voice of the Valley, KOVC. Ryan Cunningham with you here this evening, and Charles will have your videography work for you tonight as the Vikings face perhaps their best chance of the season, best test of the season. They take on the Bemidji State University Beavers, a Division II team out of the Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference, and a team that looks to have taken a step in improving their squad from a year ago. Last year, the Vikings and Bemidji State played to a three-point battle in Bemidji. But this year, some new faces for Bemidji State University have shown them some promise in a couple of exhibition games that they've played so far this year. They have no official record as of yet, does Bemidji State. This will be the official start of their regular season tonight. But in an exhibition matchup they played recently, they defeated Augsburg by a score of 92-56. That's a nice run with four players in double figures against a team that will command some respect out of the upper Midwest down in the Twin Cities. But tonight the Vikings roll in with a 3-0 record of their own and a very impressive victory against the University of Minnesota Morris their last time out. That's a Minnesota Morris team that brought back a lot of talent from last year's women's team, and the Vikings rolled to a big win, 77-42 in that matchup. So the Viking women feel like they've got a roll going on as well. We get started a little bit tardy tonight. There was some miscommunication about exactly when we were going to get this one tipped off here tonight. And so because of that, our apologies, folks, but we've got a couple of things that we have yet to clean up on the broadcast here coming up tonight. And for that, again, we apologize. We'll try to get some of those details worked out for you as quickly as we can throughout the course of the night tonight, including some audio things and that type of thing. Also, we have a scoreboard that doesn't seem to be working for us as well here tonight. So kind of one of those situations where you get into some errors here and there. When you've got those errors going on, well, you do your best you can to try to, limit the situation that you have there and still give you a quality broadcast. For so those of you that are tuning in from around the region, some timing issues here tonight, and obviously some mechanical issues that we'll have to try to work ourselves through throughout the course of the night as well. But we're glad that you joined us for this one here tonight. We're glad that you're with us here this evening as we get ready for what should be a fun night of basketball as Bemidji State opens up their regular season this evening. And, of course, Valley City State University looks to continue their season. And it's a big weekend for the Vikings for one particular reason tonight when it comes down to women's basketball, and that is that they'll have a new player that joins them for tonight. She's not new, but she has the opportunity to come over and, do this kind of thing coming up tonight. The reason why is because the volleyball season has come to a conclusion for the Vikings, or at least they believe it has, and so they're going to have the opportunity to add to the roster tonight a pretty good hand in J.C. Richter, who's one of their leaders from a couple of years ago. So we're hopeful that that will be a nice addition for Valley City State coming up this evening as well. So lots to talk about here tonight as we get into this one this evening. And we're glad that you joined us for it here tonight as we try to get things moving in the right direction here tonight for Viking basketball between the Vikings and Bemidji State University tonight. So hopefully we'll have some of the technical issues worked out as we get ready to go throughout the night, and we'll have an opportunity to give you something that I know we're working through some difficulties right now, but hopefully we'll be able to get those cleaned up as we go throughout the course of the evening here tonight. And I think we just got some of our audio issues taken care of, so that's good news. We were having some struggles with that earlier tonight, and we're glad we were able to get that all cleaned up for you here tonight. So the Vikings and Bemidji State University, our pregame report is brought to you tonight by Sanford Health Valley City, here for all and here for good. We'll take a quick pause in our pregame report. We have starting lineups on the way. We'll tell you a bit about where the conference is for those of you on the Valley City State University side. We'll take a look at that Frontier Conference standings group and show you kind of where teams stack up after the amount of play that's happened so far. Small sample sizes, 3 or 4 games, nothing in the league, but that will change come up next week, so stay with us. More on the way in a couple of moments. This is Viking women's basketball on the VCSU Athletics YouTube channel and also on newsdakota.com. And the voice of the Vikings and the voice of the Valley, KOVC, and we're back with more in just a couple of moments.
Quality education, affordable tuition, student opportunities. That's the Viking promise. Valley City State University. Discover yourself here at VCSU. Visit today.
When you're craving the taste of juicy, flavorful, locally sourced beef and pork, look no further than your locally owned Valley Meat Supply. At Valley Meat Supply, we take pride in bringing you the finest cuts of beef and pork straight from local producers. So whether you're planning a mouth-watering barbecue or a cozy family meal, choose Valley Meat Supply for the highest quality, locally grown beef, pork, and award-winning jerky, sticks, and sausage. Valley Meat Supply, West Main, Valley City. Your taste buds will thank you.
Are you on the right financial path? Are all your financial professionals on the same page? At LaRue Laco Financial, you can be assured that your investment professional and tax professional are working together. Call Ryan LaRue or Chase Carpenter at 701-845-6938. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA, SIPC.
At CHI Mercy Health, we believe human kindness is at the root of all healing, providing care on a human level, courage when it's needed most, and a connection that's ever present among us all. Human kindness is meant to be shared. It puts a smile on someone's face and seeks to do the same for others. Take the time to nourish what's inside and watch your life flourish outside, because taking care of yourself is an act of human kindness. Just like human kindness, happiness can come from the most unexpected places. Whether it's from your friend, your dog, or a memory, embrace it and pass it on. CHI Mercy Health of Valley City.
Welcome back to our coverage of Viking women's basketball tonight on the VCSU Athletics YouTube channel and also on newsdakota.com and the voice of the Vikings, the voice of the Valley, KOVC this evening. Ryan Cunningham with you from the W.E. Osmond Fieldhouse here tonight. The Viking women at 3-0, set to take on Bemidji State University, the Beavers, who come in no official record, a couple of big wins in the, I should say rather, exhibition season, but this will be technically their season opener tonight here in Valley City in a 3-point game between these two. Last time in Bemidji, Minnesota. Now Bemidji makes the trip back to Valley City to return the favor for the Vikings here tonight in a road test for the Beavers and a home test for the Vikings. Our pregame report brought to you by Sanford Health Valley City. Here for all and here for good. Let's take you through what's going on right now in the Frontier Conference coming into tonight. And you can see that things have changed up just a little bit as far as the records are concerned. Now, again, for those of you that are taking a look at this on the video side tonight at newsdakota.com and the VCSU Athletics YouTube channel, the teams on your screen are ranked in the order that they were rated by the coaches, not necessarily in their record order or their standings order. You can also see their rankings on the left-hand side of the page as well. Dakota State, the top-ranked team out of our league. Carroll College, number 14. Rocky Mountain, number 17 this week. And the University of Providence and Montana Tech all receiving votes. As far as the teams that have notched some wins so far, undefeated. Providence, Montana Tech, 3-0 and 4-0 respectively. And there's Valley City State with a record of 3-0 as well. So 3 teams that have got out to 3 or more wins without a loss. Bellevue University has 3 wins. They're now 3-1. Dakota State University is 3-1 as well. And outside of that, smaller sample sizes. Dickinson State 2-2, Montana State Western 2-2, Mayville State University currently 1-3. But Dakota State University, our top pick team in the conference, and Carroll College, Rocky Mountain, University of Providence, Montana Tech from there. Bellevue University rounds out the top half of the league that we have for you tonight. And that is a look at the standings that we have coming into tonight. We're going to take a break on our Sanford Health Valley City pregame report for our national anthem. When we come back, we'll set your starters and get ready for the tip-off of tonight's matchup. It's the Vikings and Bemidji State University right here tonight on the VCSU Athletics News, or rather YouTube channel, newsdakota.com, and the voice of the Vikings, the voice of the Valley, KOVC.
When your team, school, or business needs custom apparel or promotional products, Rambo is here to help. With over 40 years of industry-leading experience, state-of-the-art machines, and dedicated employees, we have the tools and facility to handle any job. With online ordering solutions for sports teams and businesses alike, you can count on us to get the job done correctly and on time. To get your next project started, contact Matt or visit us online at rambo.com.
Hi, this is Clint from Central Avenue Health Mart Pharmacy in beautiful downtown Valley City, your only locally owned pharmacy since 1989. When you're locally owned, you care about your community and your customers. We offer a great selection of gifts and toys, as well as yarns, fabrics, sewing, and crafting. We are here for you from 9 to 5:30 weekdays and Saturdays 9 to 1. For all your pharmaceutical needs, give us a call, 845-5280.
Health Mart, taking time to listen and care.
Orthopedic pain is limiting. It's unpredictable. And when it disrupts the way you move, it disrupts the way you live. Life is better when you feel empowered to move the way you want, when you want. And that's where our experts come in. We're your guides to orthopedic and sports medicine treatment options that can manage your pain, rehab your injuries, and restore your confidence. Take back the freedom to move. Explore your orthopedic options at Sanford Health.
We aren't meant to be still. And while you determine the direction you'll go, we're just here to help you along the way. So go. Go with experience. Go with teamwork. Go with neighbors. Go with integrity.
Why choose Professional Eye Care Centers? 3 great reasons are Dr. Bond, Dr. Freilich, and Dr. Jangula, 3 of the most educated professional optometrists you'll ever meet. Next is their many locations. You can now see one of their spectacular doctors in Jamestown, Valley City, Carrington, Edgeley, Ellendale, and Lemoore. And finally, their fantastic selection. And yes, all of their frames and lenses are backed up by warranty. Visit ProEyeCareCenters.com and make an appointment today. Professional Eye Care Centers, clearly the best.
Welcome back to our coverage of Viking basketball tonight on the VCSU Athletics YouTube channel, newsdakota.com, the voice of the Vikings and the voice of the Valley, KOVC. For those of you that are taking in our video stream tonight, our apologies. We will not have a scoreboard for you to take in this evening. We'll announce it like the radio side of things here for those of you that are on the video stream tonight as well. That's due to a bit of a breakdown between the scorers table and where we're at this evening. But we're set for the Vikings and Bemidji State University tonight as our Sanford Health Valley City pregame report concludes here this evening. Let's take a look at our starting lineups for tonight's matchup. First of all, the starters for Bemidji State University, the visitors on the scoreboard tonight. The guards are Tyron Plash, a 5'7" junior from Lake Nebegamen, Wisconsin. The guards are Tiffany Little, a 5'10" senior from Rockwall, Texas, and Aubrey Heyer, a 5'11" sophomore from Chaska, Minnesota. The forwards are Cassandra Karen, a 6' senior from Eden Prairie, Minnesota, and Ashlyn Gunther, a 5'11" junior from Duluth, Minnesota. Chelsea Stoltenberg is in her 11th season as the head coach of Bemidji State University. Now for the Vikings tonight, the guards are Olivia Backus, a 5'6" junior from Sandy, Utah, and Ellie Broughton, a 5'3" junior from West Hope, North Dakota. In the middle tonight, Abias Leeson, a 6' sophomore from Howard, South Dakota. A guard tonight, Aubrey Printy, a 5'6" senior from Weatherville, California, and Madison Spacier, a 5'11" senior from Watford City, North Dakota. Vanessa Johnson is in her 9th season as the head coach of Valley City State University. Vikings in home white tonight. Bemidji State University traveling, we'll call it dark gray. Those green and white accents, and we'll get set to throw the ball up in this one tonight between the Vikings and Bemidji State to get this one started this evening. And again, without the scoreboard, we'll announce that for you like a radio broadcast tonight, so you'll be able to keep track of what's happening. But for those of you that are viewing, you might have to listen a little bit closer. Cassandra Karen will jump for Bemidji State against Abby Osleeson for the Vikings. Tip-tapped twice by Valley City State, and Olivia Backus will run down a loose basketball. She kicks right away to Ellie Broughton, who goes to the window and misses. Karen comes up with a rebound, and Bemidji State, after a lightning quick possession by the Vikings, will come into the front court looking to slow things down. Tyron Plash working out to the right side. Karen away from the post, reverses to Aubrey Heyer. Heyer back near side, looking for Tiffany Little. They go down low. A kick by Karen out to the right corner. Three for Tyron Plash is good. Tyron Plash makes it 3-0 in favor of Bemidji State. 30 seconds into our matchup. Backus into the front court, running for the Vikings. Crossover dribble to her left hand. Scoop layup will roll for Olivia Backus. And the Vikings are back within one. 3-2 your score. 9:15 to play here in the opening quarter of play. Karen looking off towards the near side. A rotation by Aubrey Heyer to the top of the key off the dribble. Back to Cassandra Karen. Head fake draws Osleeson. Hard take to the window. Finger roll layup good. Cassandra Karen, a 6-foot senior out of Eden Prairie, believes she was a transfer for Bemidji State, and showing you her senior abilities there to draw the defender, go to the window and score. Osleeson on the right side for the Vikings. Out to the near wing. A step back three on the way for Ellie Broughton. Knocks it down. Ellie Broughton knocks down a three. All even at 5 apiece after a minute and 15 seconds of the opening quarter of play. Tyron Plash up front. Hard take to the basket. Off the bump. Scores it. Tyron Plash with 5. Vikings back up 2 by a score of 7-5. Broughton up front for Valley City State. Looking towards the left. Will try to step that way. Gets a bit of a screen from Osleeson. Comes back to Backus on the right baseline. Baseline drive for Backus. And a pull-up jump shot that's missed. Rebound comes down with Plash, and she wants to run the team quickly into the front court. Little off the right side. Coming back to the top for Heyer. Now near wing. First touch for Ashlyn Gunther tonight. Gunther will turn it back into the corner, finding Heyer. Heyer back to Gunther, off the right side, gets to the elbow on the dribble and left the ball behind. Loose basketball to Ellie Broughton off the floor. The Vikings get a turnover to go their way, and they're back up front down by 2 at 7-5, a little better than 2 minutes into the opening quarter. Crossover dribble to the elbow for Backus and a kick out to Ellie Broughton. Deep three by Broughton, she hits it. Ellie Broughton steps back and just drains a three-point shot, and that's from a long way away for Valley City State. The Vikings up 1 at 8-7. Things go better for the Vikings when their point guard, Ellie Broughton, is looking to score. She's found it tonight. Heyer, teardrop in the lane, missed it short. Rebound battle, she got it back. And a turnaround hook shot also comes up short for Heyer in the middle of the lane. The Vikings survive a second look at the basket for Bemidji State. Work back up front, leading by 1. Osleeson driving right, jump stop, turning out to Broughton off the right wing. Broughton to stop against a screen. Another deep three, and she hits it again. Ellie Broughton knocks down back-to-back deep three-point shots, and Bemidji State wants a timeout as the Vikings go up 4 by a score of 11-7. This will be a 30-second stoppage. We'll see if they call the media here with 7:09 to play here in the opening quarter. It doesn't appear that they'll do so. Let's go back. Vikings replay, and you'll see Ellie Broughton pop out on the left wing, and look at how deep this three is. She's standing right in front of the Bemidji State University bench when she hit. Find a way with Ellie Broughton to drain a couple of three-point shots and make this an 11-7 ball game. Current scoring, Ellie Broughton with 3 threes. She's got 9 of the 11 points for the Vikings. Tyron Plash with 5 on a couple of field goals, and they did convert this into the media timeout. We didn't get the indication from the officials on the floor, but they did in fact convert this into the media stoppage tonight, so we'll have a little bit of an extended media timeout. Well, that'll give us an opportunity to talk about what's coming up next for Valley City State. Take a look at what's there, and well, that didn't change either. Boy, have we had some trouble tonight. I'll tell you what, we might be able to get that taken care of for you here while we're looking at what's next for Valley City State. As obviously that ain't it, right? Go ahead and show it to you now. There we got it. Tomorrow, football with Montana Tech. Women's basketball and men's basketball at Mayville State coming up on the 18th. That'll be on Tuesday night, and that'll start the conference for the Vikings. A turn in the lane by Heyer off of the inbounds play for Bemidji State. A drive towards the left. The Vikings wanted to travel. A turnaround follow away by Little will score. Tiffany Little's first 2. And the Vikings have their lead trimmed to 11-9. Long pass to Prunty into the front court, disrupted by Little, but the Vikings will maintain possession. Broughton working towards the right side. Crossover dribble goes right corner. Catch and shoot Backus out of the corner. Off the heel strong. And a loose ball rebound to Cassandra Karen. Quickly up the floor. Ball pushed through Plash's hands. Out to Plash again. Her deep three is off the heel of the rim. And a loose ball rebound is run down by Madison Spacier for Valley City State. 6:25 to play opening quarter. The Vikings lead 11-9. And for those of you joining the video stream tonight, scoreboard difficulties here. A three by Backus on the way. Off the front of the rim, it won't fall. A rebound pulled down the baseline by Evan Apinga, who checked in on the break. A redshirt freshman from Anoka, Minnesota. And a ball down low on a post-entry pass disrupted by the Vikings and out of bounds. Tiana Schwinghammer, 6-foot junior out of Bruton, Minnesota, will step in for Valley City State, replacing Prunty. And as we mentioned, Evan Apinga, 5'6" redshirt freshman from Anoka, Minnesota, comes on the floor, and I believe she came out to replace Ashlyn Gunther in the lineup. Ball to Cassandra Karen, right baseline, a kick out. Three on the way off the heel of the rim from Tyrion Plash. And a rebound's controlled underneath by Madison Spacier for the Vikings. 11-9, Valley City State by 2. A ball pushed up tempo by Broughton, looking for Schwinghammer on the stretch pass. Deflected. Byer, actually Higher, comes away with the basketball for Bemidji State. Turns it back out towards the right side of the floor. Karen taking a look towards Plash. Stopped by Plash, reversal back to Higher on the top of the key, confronted by Schwinghammer. Ball to the corner for Riddle. Comes back out on top, taken there by Apinga. Apinga will turn it back to Karen, and a three on the way off the front of the rim. And Backus will pull it away. The offenses were hot to start. There's been a cool down since the stoppage by Bemidji State. 11-9 your score. The Vikings by 2. 5.5 to play. 3 on the way. Comes up strong from Broughton. And the rebound's off to the underneath. Taken up by Karen momentarily. And then run down by Bemidji State further. Up in the top of the key. Travel coming up. That'll be against Evan Apinga. Apinga coming set on the top. Kind of pulled a pivot foot while she tried to make a plant of it. And ends up having that one go the wrong direction off of the secondary movement of the foot. And we'll see an inbounds pass from Madison Spacier on the near sideline for the Vikings. The Vikings will make a change. Ellie Powell, a 5'11 junior from Bowman, North Dakota, in for the first time. Powell comes out high for the Vikings. Looks right side for Spacier. Broughton off the right corner. She takes a look in, trying to find Powell. Hard fight inside. Fall away by Powell. Missed. Offensive rebound. Schwinghammer draws a foul. Good take by Ellie Powell. That has been the play that the Vikings have wanted her to grow into throughout the course of her time here at Valley City State. And the only issue that they've had so far is getting her to really take it hard to the basket. And Schwinghammer will go to the foul line. So Schwinghammer will go to the foul line for Valley City State. Trying to put the Vikings back up by 2 possessions. The first by Tiana Schwinghammer is good. Makes it 12-9 Vikings. And Schwinghammer will go to the line for her second. That's on the way and also good. Pair of foul shots knocked down by Tiana Schwinghammer. And it's now 13-9. The Vikings have a 4-point advantage. A kick left side, and Gabby Finneday comes up with a 3-point shot that's missed. She just checked into the game as well. Finneday, a 5'8 freshman, Cass Lake, Minnesota native. The Vikings come away with the basketball. Drive left side of the floor. Hard take by Broughton, and a body foul that will be called against Evan Apinga. And that might be 2 on Apinga in short order off the bench, and it will be. Evan Apinga with her second. And we'll see some changes for Bemidji State after a brief breather. Tyrion Plash will step back into the matchup. And entering is Lindsay Weiler, a 6-foot freshman from Stevens Point, Wisconsin. Schwinghammer will inbound to Ellie Powell. Powell driving into the lane. Kick out on the top of the key. Picked up there for the Vikings by Liz Lukin, who also steps in. 5'8 sophomore from Underwood, Minnesota for the Vikings. Lukin driving baseline. Kick out left corner. Schwinghammer, ball fake. Draws the defense out of the 2-3 zone. Drives in. Has a shot confronted, though, and comes down empty. And the rebound to Gabby Finneday. Rather, the rebound goes to Sam Vito, a 5'11 junior from Moline, Illinois for Bemidji State. 13-9, the Vikings by 4. 4:10 to play in the quarter, and a turnover. Flash coming back out towards Vito, and some miscommunication there as Vito broke towards the baseline. The ball came to the wing and ends up going out of bounds. And the inbounds play will come in off the near side from Madison Spacier, and comes into the middle of the floor for Ellie Broughton. Back to Spacier on the top of the key. Hard dribble drive against Plash. Took a bump, kicked it out to the corner. Broughton out of the corner, head fake to draw a defender, and pulled the pivot foot herself. Travel against Valley City State. 13-9, the Vikings by 4. The clock at 3:57 to play in the opening quarter of basketball. Apinga will take the inbounds pass for Bemidji State. Apinga stepping through, looking off towards the near side, picked up by Sam Vito. Vito out to Cassandra Carrot, post entry inside, kick back out to the near wing, a drive by Finneday, and either travel or 3-second call. I believe the call was travel. Terry Bohan on the near sideline, blowing the whistle. And the Vikings will get it back off of a Bemidji State turnover. Boy, this game started with a lot of fireworks. 3 deep threes for Ellie Broughton in the opening quarter play very early, forced a Bemidji State timeout. At that point, the score was 11-9, I believe, 11-7. Here's a rebound putback for Ellie Broughton inside. Big play for Powell, rather. Ellie Powell on the miss from Broughton. Powell puts it back, and it's now 15-9. The Vikings up by 6. It's been a really, really low-scoring affair, though, since the turnover by Bemidji, rather the timeout, I should say, by Bemidji State. And now an offensive foul. Let's see where this is going. It'll be an illegal screen. Cassandra Caron's going to be called for her first, and that's the third on Bemidji State. See a change made here as well. Caron's going to step out of the floor, and Bemidji State will re-enter Lindsay Weiler. Freshman out of Stevens Point. Bemidji State went right into the backyard of Wisconsin Stevens Point and took a player up to Bemidji. Schwinghammer to the left elbow, and now an offensive foul and an illegal screen that's going to be called against Schwinghammer. Once you see one, you see a bunch of them, and Schwinghammer called for the illegal screen, trying to free up Madison Spacier. Stops the clock with 3 minutes even to play in the opening quarter, and Bemidji State's back into the front court with the basketball. Ball off the right side. Ashlyn Gunther re-enters after the start. Kicks out right side. 3 on the way. Comes up and off the heel from Tyrion Plash. An offensive rebound. Drive back by Vito. Aggressive reverse layup. She'll score. That's an aggressive reverse layup play by Sam Vito underneath on the scoop. Schwinghammer the other direction. Leaves one off the glass too strong, and a loose ball rebound to Ashlyn Gunther. Sends Bemidji State back the other way. Vito a stop. Backdoor cut. Plash to the glass will score. And that'll force a timeout by the Vikings as Tyrion Plash scores her 7th. We'll have a timeout by Valley City State and a timeout on the floor. We've got more Viking basketball coming up next.
Experience the thrill, feel the passion, and join the excitement. Tickets on sale now at VCSUVikings.com.
Lang hard to the basket with a two-hand flush. He burst through it. He's to the end zone. Touchdown, Valley City State.
Here's the game-winning shot. Does it go? Yes, it does!
Nelson on the attack. Poland can't make the play. The Vikings sweep the Jimmy. Timeout taken by Bemidji State. An aggressive reverse layup play a couple of moments ago by Sam Vito for Bemidji. Again on our Viking replay, you'll see the miss here. Vito out to the perimeter. They're going to like her. A reverse layup underneath. Hard scoop. Vito. And Bemidji State cuts a 6-point lead to 2. It's 15-13. The Vikings have a 2-point lead. Back the other way. Delaney Cotton, a right corner 3 that won't fall. And a hard rebound fight inside that's won by Lindsay Weiler off a couple of bumps. Bemidji State a chance to tie or take the lead as they come back up front. Tyrion Plash driving towards the right side. Kick to Vito on the wing. Vito a stop and go dribble along the right sideline. Turns it back to Plash. They look down low, disrupted, but the ball comes back out on top. They go into the high-low underneath, and a foul against Ellie Broughton as Ashlyn Gunther got inside on a high-low look. It's a good adjustment by Bemidji State. Weiler picks up the ball that was deflected out to the perimeter, and she and Gunther got immediately into the high-low look underneath, and it forces Ellie Broughton to commit a foul for the Vikings to prevent an easy basket. Clock will halt with 1:51 to play, opening quarter. Vikings 15, Bemidji State 13. And Ashlyn Gunther will go to the foul line. Her first effort rolls off the front of the rim. Lead remains 1, or rather 2, at 15-13. And a second foul shot coming up for Gunther, trying to cut the Viking lead in half. And she will do so. Gunther knocks down the back end. 5th Bemidji State University Beaver to score, 15-14. The Vikings have their lead trimmed to 1. A little 5-0 run put together by Bemidji State. Drive inside, Backus reverse layup left short. Deflects her own rebound. Powell turning back to the basket, hit it. Ellie Powell coming up with her 4th. Good rebound on the offensive side inside. Went back to the basket on the finish. Vikings back up 3 at 17-14. Flash into the front court, tied up on pressure. A little escape valve pass comes out towards the near side of the floor, and off a turn, Finneday will pull up from the elbow and miss. Rebound Delaney Cotton for Valley City State, moving from left to right. Schwinghammer into the front court, finding Powell. Powell hard take in the lane, scoop layup, missed. Rebound put back, Cotton, put back comes up strong. Another rebound fight, and we'll see a foul coming up against Powell, throwing a body on Flash at the top of the paint. Correction, Broughton, my apologies. Ellie Broughton will have her second personal foul. And we'll see what the Vikings do here. They will bring Powell out of the matchup. Sophie Bachmeyer, 5'6" sophomore from Granville, North Dakota, the former TGU Titan, will come into the matchup. Bachmeyer had a nice weekend to start the season and thought she would be forced into some minutes when Ellie Broughton went down with an injury. But Broughton has been tough through a knee injury to play so far this season. Ball right corner, Plash out on top. 3 on the way by Heyer, comes up strong. And the rebound to Ellie Powell for Valley City State. Vikings up 3, 17-14. 45 seconds to play opening quarter. Bachmeyer all the way to the window. Score it. Sophie Bachmeyer, good first step with the dribble out the top of the key. Goes to the rack, makes it 19-14. And a 7-second differential as the Beavers come into the front court. Ball slung to the top of the key. 3 on the way by Finneday. Knock it down, drain it. Gabby Finneday stepping into a 3. Freshman from Cass Lake. Vikings stretch it out with the shot clock turned off. Schwinghammer to Bachmeyer out between the rings. 15 seconds left of the opening quarter. Bachmeyer draws a defender in the form of Ashlyn Gunther. Crossover, screen set by Powell, screen and go, and Powell can't get to the basketball, but it's out of bounds, disrupted by Gunther. And the Vikings will have 6 seconds to work with as they keep the ball on the baseline up front. Schwinghammer will inbound it. 2 will stand in front of her. Bachmeyer in the paint, Powell in the corner. They set cross screens. Bachmeyer takes it. Clock at 3. Bachmeyer looking. Backus. And with 1 on the shot, actually game clock, Backus got a 3 away, but it's missed. And that'll be the end of the opening quarter of basketball. Good one after one here at the W.E. Osmond Fieldhouse. It's the Vikings 19, Bemidji State University 17 on our LaRue Laco Financial scoreboard. We have a timeout. This is Viking basketball on the VCSU Athletics YouTube channel, newsdakota.com, and the voice of the Vikings, the voice of the Valley, KOVC.
Hey college students, are you looking for a part-time job that works around your schedule, pays well, and gives you free money for college every year? McDonald's offers all of it. We can work around your schedule, and we give $2,500 scholarships to everyone who works for 3 months and averages 15 hours per week. That's 2 full shifts a week or 3 shifts of 5 hours. It's that easy. Let us help you become our next scholarship recipient. Come join our team. Text ND29 to 38000 to apply today.
Orthopedic pain is limiting. It's unpredictable. And when it disrupts the way you move, it disrupts the way you live. Life is better when you feel empowered to move the way you want, when you want. And that's where our experts come in. We're your guides to orthopedic and sports medicine treatment options that can manage your pain, rehab your injuries, and restore your confidence. Take back the freedom to move. Explore your orthopedic options at Sanford Health.
Welcome back to Viking basketball. Again, for those of you on the video side of things, no scoreboard tonight, some scoreboard difficulties. It's 19-17. The Vikings lead by 2 over Bemidji State as we start the second quarter. Good aggressive turn and score. That's Cassandra Karen inside, scoring her 4th of the night. Leading scorers 7 for Tyron Plash for Bemidji State, 9 for Ellie Broughton after the opening quarter for the Vikings. And the Vikings are up front with their first second quarter possession. Aubrey Prunty off to the top. Backus driving hard, take to the basket, comes up short, and the rebound to Karen underneath for Valley City State. Or rather for Bemidji State. Beavers up front, 3 on the way, comes up a little short that time from Gabby Finneday, and the ball's out of bounds. And we'll see Karen crashing into the Viking bench. She appears to be more concerned about one of the Vikings on the bench to make sure that he's okay, rather than Karen being concerned about her own wherewithal. But apparently everybody's going to be all right, and the Vikings will get it back after a Bemidji State University turnover. We're tied at 19 after the bucket by Cassandra Karen to start the second quarter. Ellie Broughton up front, taking the handoff, playing this one back off to the left side of the floor for Prunty. Now near side for Spacer. Abby Osleeson didn't score in the opening quarter. Karen comes out to defend her. Ball aside. Broughton gets a screen to come free on the right elbow. Turns it back to the right for Spacer. Shot clock 10 seconds. Ball on top, Broughton driving left, drew two defenders, kicks it back out on top. Prunty working right side, shot clock at 3. Prunty's pull-up misses, and a rebound underneath taken by Aubrey Heyer for Bemidji State. Beavers have a chance to take the lead here in the second quarter after trailing by 6. Ashlyn Gunther on the left side, a drive picked up underneath by Osleson. Off to the top for Cassandra Karen. A work back to Heyer on the right side of the floor. Now Karen cuts inside. Drew Broughton as a defender and scores. And Bemidji State has a 21-19 advantage. A minute and a half into quarter number 2. Vikings took a big 6-point lead at 15-9. And they've come up with a 12-4 run. Have the Beavers to take a 2-point lead of their own. A turn by Backus off to Broughton on the right side. She's offended strongly now after hitting those 3. Broughton a drive, shot blocked from behind. Ashlyn Gunther stayed on top and was able to knock that ball loose. Now Gunther picks up her dribble in the backcourt, needs help. Got it back out to Plash and back to Gunther. Near side of the floor, Heyer taking a step towards the left baseline. Works away from pressure. Off to Karen on the top of the key. Ball off the right. Finneday driving left. Looks inside and Karen's fouled going to the basket. Bemidji State has found a way to sort of establish their tempo here. The Vikings were a little bit run and gun to start things, and it seemed like Bemidji State wanted to run and gun with them, and it's not like the Beavers want to really slow it down, but it seems like Bemidji State's more in their element when they play a little bit more of a controlled type of tempo. And again, that's not a slow tempo. It's just more of a controlled style of basketball, whereas the Vikings like to put you in a little bit of disarray. Karen knocks down the front end, makes it 22-19 Beavers, and now 23-19 as Karen knocks down both ends of the trip to the foul line. 23-19, the Vikings down 4 to Bemidji State. This representing a 14-4 run for the Beavers. Ball off the left side of the floor, picked up by Olivia Backus. A hard take to the window. They're going to wave off the shot. Backus wants the continuation. They'll call foul on the floor, and I believe it's against Aubrey Heyer. Heyer will pick up her second. Evan Apinga picked up too early off the bench for Bemidji State, and that probably altered some of their plans for rotation back in the opening quarter. Now they have another playing with 2 fouls. Off the right side, Broughton stepping in, looking down low in a post entry, looking for Osleson on the cut, knocked away. And it's Cassandra Karen that comes up with the takeaway for Bemidji State. Plash driving, got to the basket, missed a layup. Rebound underneath the Madison Spacier. That's one that Plash will want back later in the game. Broughton off to the left side for Prunty for the Vikings. Prunty stepping in, pulled up in front of the basket. Ball was knocked loose. Osleson was able to get to it. Broughton a drive back to Osleson. Mid-range jump shot. Osleson will score. First 2 points for the Fab sophomore, who had a great freshman season for the Vikings out of Howard, South Dakota. Helped the Vikings beat Dakota State, top-ranked team in our conference a year ago. 23-21, the Vikings back within 2 of Bemidji State. Cassandra Karen stepping underneath the basket. Turns it back off near side of the floor for Finneday. A stop in the lane, Heyer, kick out to Plash, and a 3 that's off the heel of the rim. Karen had the basketball. It comes up off her foot. Both teams are asking for some contact to be whistled, and neither team is getting the contact whistled. And right now, Chelsea Stoltenberg is livid on the Bemidji State sideline. A take to the basket by Spacier. She's bumped, ends up missing a shot. Basketball comes out near side for Ashlyn Gunther. She'll cut the lane, and an offensive foul coming up against Gunther. And that is absolutely going to irritate Coach Stoltenberg of Bemidji State. On the way back up the floor, when Valley City State was transitioning back into the offensive side, Coach Stoltenberg of Bemidji State was step for step with the official and still giving it to the official over on the far sideline. Those two apparently do not see eye to eye on the physicality of the game this far. 23-21, Bemidji State by 2. 6:10 to play till the break. A drive to the basket by Backus, and this one's knocked out of bounds. They'll say last touched by Backus, and Bemidji State will get it back. Heyer will inbound the basketball after Bemidji State forces a Viking turnover. And we'll see Bemidji State come back up into the front court. Tyron Plash with it, working right side, got a step against Karen, spins her way into the lane, a kick out. Heyer working off the right side, a lot of contact again with Backus. Off to the top, Karen a hard take to the basket. There's an and one coming up. Take to the basket, Karen will score. And the foul against Abby Osleson, and Karen's having a night. Cassandra Karen will have her 10th, looking for number 11 on the foul that will go against Abby Osleson, her first. And on the Viking replay, and this is just an aggressive play by Karen. Following this play, Karen coming out top of the key, going to take Osleson one-on-one. They isolate for her, and she goes to the basket, draws, and You can see on that play, for those of you that are Bemidji State fans, you'll probably see a lot of that this year. Cassandra Karen, 6-foot senior from Eden Prairie. Once she got the ball on the top of the key with a matchup she felt she could win, the team fled to the sidelines and just gave her an ISO play, and she was able to take it and score. And that's your post going hard to the basket to put it down. Schwinghammer tries as well for the Vikings, ends up absorbing a foul. The and one was good. That will give Karen 11 and pushes the Beaver lead to 5 at 26-21, and Tiana Schwinghammer will go to the foul line for the Vikings. 5:38 to play in the opening half of basketball. Schwinghammer with a pair of foul shots back in the first. She hits again, 3 of 3 from the line tonight. Lead cut to 26-22 in favor of Bemidji State, but the Vikings have had some defensive problems as of late. They're going to have to try to form that part up. Schwinghammer knocks down both ends, 4 of 4 from the foul line for the transfer for Valley City State, coming in to try to solidify part of the post this year. Ball left side, Gunther, hard take to the basket. Got to the basket and scores it. Ashlyn Gunther, her first field goal tonight, lead back to 5. Backus in transition for the Vikings underneath the rim. Off to Delaney Cotton, looks off a defender. Hard take to the basket, bump was there. Vanessa Johnson wants a call for the Vikings and doesn't get it. Bemidji State comes away with the basketball. Higher, a little give and go in the corner out of Gunther. Back to Higher, fall away hook shot. She got her own miss, does Higher. Backs her way back in against Cotton. Turns it back to Vito, and now Plash for 3. That's off the heel of the rim. And we've got an aggressive battle physically going on over in the far corner where Delaney Cotton is held up, and they're going to call a foul on Aubrey Higher, her 3rd of the game. Liz Lucan will come back into the matchup to replace Olivia Backus. And the Vikings will inbound down by 5, and that's going to bring us to our media stoppage. Timeout for media with 4:59 to play opening half. 28-23, Bemidji State by 5 on the LaRue Laco Financial scoreboard. We're back with more in a moment. This is Viking basketball.
When you're craving the taste of juicy, flavorful, locally sourced beef and pork, look no further than your locally owned Valley Meat Supply. At Valley Meat Supply, we take pride in bringing you the finest cuts of beef and pork straight from local producers. So whether you're planning a mouth-watering barbecue or a cozy family meal, choose Valley Meat Supply for the highest quality, locally grown beef, pork, and award-winning jerky, sticks, and sausage. Valley Meat Supply, West Main, Valley City. Your taste buds will thank you.
Are you on the right financial path? Are all your financial professionals on the same page? At LaRue Laco Financial, you can be assured that your investment professional and tax professional are working together. Call Ryan LaRue or Chase Carpenter at 701-845-6938. Securities offered through LPL Financial. Member FINRA, SIPC.
Timeout taken for media with 4:55 to play first half. The Vikings trailing Bemidji State by 5, 28-23. Welcome back to Viking women's basketball from the W.E. Osmond Fieldhouse tonight. Ellie Broughton with the basketball for the Vikings on top. They move left to right against scoreboard difficulties for those of you in the video side of things tonight. Ellie Broughton, another deep 3 that's short, and Sam Vito comes up with the basketball and a loose ball rebound for Bemidji State. Tyron Plash into the front court for the Beavers. Crossover dribble, hard take down the lane. Left-hand layup is good for Plash. 9 for Tyron Plash, and it's been all breakdown and dribble drive for Bemidji State thus far. Backdoor cut for Lucan. That'll be kicked out of bounds by the Beavers. But where the Beavers have found their pace offensively has been to just win one-on-one matchups. And they seem to have won those in key places. Dribble drive to the basket, hard take to the basket, maybe follow up a miss, but they've been very good at getting a first dribble separation and finding a way to the rack. Post entry pass for the Vikings that ends up too high for Tilda Maritson, who checked in just a moment ago. Maritson, 6-foot senior from Ängelholm, Sweden, comes on for her first minutes, and we'll see Lucan stepping off the floor. Nope, it'll be Broughton that will step off the floor. Ellie Broughton out. Sophie Bachmeyer comes back into the point guard spot for the Vikings. 3-possession lead right now for Bemidji State at 30-23. They're looking to build on it with 4 minutes to go of the opening half. Vito back to the basket on Schwinghammer. Hard bank shot that's missed. Schwinghammer the rebound for the Vikings. Schwinghammer trying to lead the breakout, but a stop instead off to Bachmeyer. Bachmeyer stepping left, looking back left side. Delaney Cotton looks into swing actually to Tilda Maritson, and Maritson is fouled going to the basket. Lindsay Weiler will pick up the foul inside as Maritson put her back in. and tried to spin away with a fall away. And we'll see Cassandra Karen back into the matchup. 11 points for Karen. She's had 9 in the second quarter, including a bucket and harm that really gave Bemidji State some momentum a couple of moments ago. Maritzen's first foul shot is good. The Vikings have had a good night from the free throw line. 5 of 5. Schwinghammer was 4 of 4 thus far. Lead cut to 6, and the second foul shot will cut it to 5. Maritzen knocks down both ends. 30-25. Valley City State back within 5. Ball right side of the floor, brought up by Tyrion Plash. She's had a nice night for Bemidji State, both scoring and controlling the basketball. Plash off to the right. Karen looking towards the corner. Vito, give and go back to Karen. Off the glass, she'll score again. That's 13 for Cassandra Karen and 11 in the quarter. Lead back to 7 at 32-25. Schwinghammer faces up, draws a defender from deep, then turns it over to the right side for Lucan. Lucan, a spin move into the lane. She'll come up strong and gets fouled on the body by Tiffany Little. And that will be 5 on Bemidji State. The Vikings will shoot the penalty with 3:17 to play here in the opening half. We'll see the Vikings sending Liz Lucan to the foul line. She takes a look at number 1, hoists it up, and it's no good for Lucan. First miss from the foul line in 7 tries tonight. One of the new faces seeing some time for Valley City State this year. We have not yet seen J.C. Richter step onto the floor tonight for the Vikings, perhaps in the second half. Second foul shot is good. J.C. Richter, a dual sport athlete, was named the Defensive Player of the Year in the Frontier Conference in volleyball this past season, broke the all-time digs record in a career for Valley City State, but was also the 3rd leading scorer on the Vikings a year ago in women's basketball and has now joined the team. She's on the bench tonight. Karen sends it over to the right side, finding Little off the jab step. Little drives in, bounces back, and a fall-away jump shot good. Tiffany Little just inside the foul line, hits her 4th. The lead is 8 for Bemidji State at 34-26. Schwinghammer on the top of the key, stepping away. She'll take a deep 3. That's off the heel. And a quick rebound to Tyrion Plash for Bemidji State. She has numbers 4 on 3. Plash driving in. No look pass to Vito to the basket. Vito will score, and that's going to prompt a Viking timeout on a brilliant breakout for Bemidji State to push the lead to 10 at 36-26. And the Vikings will take a 30-second stoppage with 2:34 to play in the opening half. Let's take VCSU Athletics replay and watch the breakout here. Plash leading the way, realizes she's got numbers, drives in, backdoor cut to Vito. She had all her options in front of her. Tonight with the way Bemidji State on their offense has found just exactly the right separation. That play doesn't work as well as you want it to without that last break to the basket by Cassandra Karen. And we'll show it to you again here so you can see it come out, but you watch Cassandra Karen, the post player, catching up into the play. She's got to go to the baseline to draw that defender that opens up Vito on the right side of the floor, and she did that, and that's just a really wise move by a senior playing in the post for Bemidji State that gives them a fast break opportunity. Spacer in the post, draws the double team and has the ball deflected. Taken away by Karen. 2-on-2 break the other way. Ball a little strong for Gunther. She gets double teamed in the post, turns it back out to the perimeter, and that's out of bounds off of Bemidji State. It'll go back to the Vikings. 36-26, Valley City State by 10 with 2:13 to play in the opening half of basketball. And the Vikings into the front court with it. Schwinghammer taking a look. Step back and a look on a 3. Hard take into the window and score for Tiana Schwinghammer. Goes hard to the lane. Makes it 36-28. The Vikings get back to within 8. Ball on top. Plash looking left side. Hard take to the basket. Taken by Cassandra Karen. It goes loose on a blocked shot. Loose basketball picked up near side by Ellie Broughton. The Vikings back up front. Broughton a head fake, stepping away, looking left side, hard take into the lane, down low to Spacer, head fake drew the defender, Spacer on the up and under. Madison Spacer knocks down her first scoring tonight. Vikings a mini run to cut a 10-point lead to 6. 36-30, Bemidji State on top, and another takeaway. Ball ripped away from Plash, left up the floor, Broughton all by herself to the window. Ellie Broughton with 11. A 6-0 run, lightning quick for the Vikings. They're back within 4 at 36-32 with the clock down to 1:10 to go here in the opening half. And the Vikings are back up front, or actually Bemidji State back up front with the basketball as the Vikings have cut the lead down to 2 possessions and small ones. Underneath, Little looking inside for Karen off the bump. Followay missed it. Defended up well by Tilda Maritzen. The Vikings can make this a 1-possession game in the final 50 seconds of the second quarter. Broughton stepping towards the right, found a lane right side of the basket. Hard take to the basket and draws a foul. Ashlyn Gunther has her second, and the Vikings will go to the foul line. So we'll see Ellie Broughton going to the foul line for the Vikings, trying to cut this to a 2-point game. A couple of moments ago, Bemidji State all the control of the game in the world, leading by 10, and the Vikings force a couple of turnovers, block a shot, get up the floor, and knock down a couple of really tough shots. And all of a sudden it's a 2-point ball game as Broughton knocks down both ends. 36-34, Valley City State down by 2. 40 seconds left to go in the half. The differential is 15 seconds. Bemidji State up front. A step towards the near side of the floor by Tyrion Plash, hit by double team ball pressure. She's in trouble. No place to go with the basketball, and a foul coming up. Tilda Maritzen going to be called for a foul, and I think that bailed out Plash to an extent. The Vikings have 2 fouls to give before the penalty. That's one of them. Inbounds pass will come off the near side of the floor, and it will be thrown in by Ashlyn Gunther. So Gunther to inbound. Comes out to the top of the key for Tyrion Plash. Bachmeyer looking to give her a left hand. A stop back on top. Cassandra Karen hard take to the basket, scores again. Cassandra Karen, you can't give her that much room with her right hand. 15 points, 13 have come in the quarter. 38-34, 15 seconds left until the break. And the Vikings back up front for what they hope to be the final possession. Ball left side of the floor, Schwinghammer turns to Bachmeyer. Too high in the post for Spacier through her hands. 5 seconds left as Bemidji State gets it. And Plash just across the half line throws up a little floater from the foul line and misses, and that'll be the end of the first half of basketball. The Vikings fortunate to be in it, down by 10 at one point. They come back with a flurry, cut the lead at 1 point to 2. They trail by 4 at the end of the opening half. Your score is Bemidji State 38, Valley City State 34, as we head to the locker rooms for our intermission report. Our intermission report is brought to you by Rambo. We're in the business of making you look good at Rambo, and we'll have more Viking basketball as we continue in a couple of moments. This is VCSU Viking basketball on the VCSU Athletics YouTube channel, newsdakota.com, and the voice of the Vikings and the voice of the Valley, KOVC.
At CHI Mercy Health, we believe human kindness is at the root of all healing, providing care on a human level, courage when it's needed most, and a connection that's ever present among us all. Human kindness is meant to be shared. It puts a smile on someone's face and seeks to do the same for others. Take the time to nourish what's inside and watch your life flourish outside, because taking care of yourself is an act of human kindness. Just like human kindness, happiness can come from the most unexpected places. Whether it's from your friend, your dog, or a memory, embrace it and pass it on. CHI Mercy Health of Valley City.
When your team, school, or business needs custom apparel or promotional products, Rambo is here to help. With over 40 years of industry-leading experience, state-of-the-art machines, and dedicated employees, we have the tools and facility to handle any job. With online ordering solutions for sports teams and businesses alike, you can count on us to get the job done correctly and on time. To get your next project started, contact Matt or visit us online at rambo.com.
Hi, this is Clint from Central Avenue Health Mart Pharmacy in beautiful downtown Valley City, your only locally owned pharmacy since 1989. When you're locally owned, you care about your community and your customers. We offer a great selection of gifts and toys, as well as yarns, fabrics, sewing, and crafting. We are here for you from 9 to 5:30 weekdays and Saturdays 9 to 1. For all your pharmaceutical needs, give us a call, 845-5280.
Health Mart, taking time to listen and care.
Grotberg Electric believes in quality first, taking pride in the work and standing behind every project they do. They bring together the power, technology, and experience to keep your business online. The success of Grotberg Electric depends on 3 major ideals: the quality of their products, the commitment to their customers, and most of all, their customer service. Call Grotberg Electric today at 845-3010 or visit them online, grotbergelectric.com.
Why choose Professional Eye Care Centers? 3 great reasons are Dr. Bond, Dr. Freilich, and Dr. Jangula, 3 of the most educated professional optometrists you'll ever meet. Next is their many locations. You can now see one of their spectacular doctors in Jamestown, Valley City, Carrington, Edgeley, Ellendale, and Lemoore. And finally, their fantastic selection. And yes, all of their frames and lenses are backed up by warranty. Visit proeyecarecenters.com and make an appointment today. Professional Eye Care Centers, clearly the best.
Hey college students, are you looking for a part-time job that works around your schedule, pays well, and gives you free money for college every year? McDonald's offers all of it. We can work around your schedule, and we give $2,500 scholarships to everyone who works for 3 months and averages 15 hours per week. That's 2 full shifts a week or 3 shifts of 5 hours. It's that easy. Let us help you become our next scholarship recipient. Come join our team. Text ND29 to 38000 to apply today.
Orthopedic pain is limiting. It's unpredictable. And when it disrupts the way you move, it disrupts the way you live. Life is better when you feel empowered to move the way you want, when you want. And that's where our experts come in. We're your guides to orthopedic and sports medicine treatment options that can manage your pain, rehab your injuries, and restore your confidence. Take back the freedom to move. Explore your orthopedic options at Sanford Health.
We aren't meant to be still. And while you determine the direction you'll go, we're just here to help you along the way. So go. Go with experience. Go with teamwork. Go with neighbors. Go with integrity.
Welcome back to our coverage of Valley City State University Viking basketball on the VCSU Athletics YouTube channel, NewsDakota.com, and the voice of the Vikings, the voice of the Valley, KOVC, from the W.E. Osmond Fieldhouse tonight. Valley City State University Viking basketball, and our halftime report brought to you this evening by Rambo. We're in the business of making you look good at Rambo. Rambo is the place to go for your promotional products and your promotional attire. They want to put your logo to work for you. Matt Karlgaard is a proud VCSU Viking alum, and he's willing to get that logo working in the right direction so you can promote your team or your business with Rambo. And remember, it's not just attire, it's items as well. They can take care of all of those issues for you at Rambo. We're in the business of making you look good at Rambo. Well, the game summary here, a hot start for Ellie Broughton from the three-point line. The Vikings slow down, though, in the second quarter. Only 4 field goals in the second quarter. They stay afloat from the foul line. Meanwhile, Cassandra Karen, 6-foot senior from Eden Prairie, Minnesota, with 13 of her 15 in the second quarter of play. The Vikings didn't have much of an answer for her. And Tyrion Plash with 9 also for Bemidji State. And the Beavers lead 38-34 as we go into the locker room. Bemidji State had the biggest lead of the half, a 10-point margin. That margin was 36-26. The Vikings came roaring back, scored 8 in a row to cut the lead down to 36-34. Bemidji State with the last bucket before we went to the locker room to make it 38-34. As far as the game summary is concerned on this one for the numbers, Bemidji State shooting a high percentage, and this is what happens when you get to the basket with dribble penetration. They did it all throughout the first half, and when you do that, it really brings your shooting percentage to a new level, just for the simple fact that you have a lot of high percentage opportunities. 15 of 31 from the field for Bemidji State, just under 50%, and that's on the road in their first, I guess you'd say, season opener, their first true contest of the year, even though they have played a couple of exhibition games at this point. To go on the road and hit 15 of 31, well, that's a really good start. The Vikings were 12 of 30 from the field. The Vikings were 4 of 10 from the three-point line. One thing that evaded Bemidji State was three-point success. They were just 1 of 8 from the three-point line in that opening half, and there was a disparity from the foul line. When you're in a 4-point game, you look for things like that. 9 of 10 from the foul line for Valley City State. Bemidji State just 4 of 5. They got themselves in some trouble in that, shall we say, second quarter, where they ended up in the penalty, and the Vikings took advantage of that and were able to find themselves into a good spot using that foul line to stay afloat in the matchup. As far as the turnover battle is concerned, Bemidji State turned it over 10 times in the opening half. The Vikings turned it over 7 times. The Vikings 16 defensive rebounds and 5 offensive rebounds. Bemidji State 14-1. The Vikings 21-15 in the rebounding category to win that battle as well. As far as the individual numbers are concerned in this one, as we mentioned, Bemidji State led by Cassandra Karen played all 20 minutes of the opening half according to the numbers. 6 of 9 from the field, 3 of 3 from the foul line. She finishes with 15 points and had 4 rebounds in that first half, rather 2 rebounds in the first half of play. Now they've got Tyrion Plash for 6. I've got her for 9 on my individual numbers, and I'll have to see where my numbers may be off. I don't believe they are. I think they're just missing some scoring for Tyrion Plash. They've got her 0 of 3 from the three-point line. I had her hitting a 3 in the opening half. I'm going to do some quick math on the air. 25, 28. Yeah, I think they're missing, as far as the individual numbers are concerned, they're missing scoring tonight for Bemidji State in the individual box score. 15 for Karen, and let's see, 6 for Plash would make it 21. 4 for Tiffany Little would make it 25. 4 for Sam Vito would make it 29. 3 for Ashlyn Gunther would make it 32. And Gabby Finaday with 3 would make it 35. Yeah, they're missing a three-pointer. And that is the 3 that was hit by Tyrion Plash. That's the difference. So Tyrion Plash has 9, and either is 1 of 4 or 0 of 3 from the three-point line. We'll go with that. How's that making it up on the fly here tonight, okay? No one with more than 2 rebounds for Bemidji State. Plash with 2 rebounds and 9 points, and Cassandra Kieran 15 rebounds and 9 points. Other scorers, as we mentioned, Tiffany Little with 4, Sam Vito with 4, 3 points for Ashlyn Gunther, 3 points for Gabby Finaday to lead the way and wrap up the first half scoring for Bemidji State. Valley City State in the opening half of play. Individual numbers. Ellie Broughton with 13 and hit 3 of 5 from the three-point line. A lot of those were deep beyond the three-point line. 13 points, had 4 turnovers, ends up with 3 rebounds in the opening half as well for the Vikings. And Tiana Schwinghammer with 6 points in the opening half also has 3 rebounds for Valley City State. Beyond that, Olivia Backus with 5. Ellie Powell with 4. Some good minutes, though, for Ellie Powell. Continue to see her game develop here. Madison Spacer with 2. Sophia Bachmeyer with 2. 2 for Abby Osleeson, and Tilda Maritzen with 2 as well. The 2 for Abby Osleeson might be something that you'd focus in on a little bit. The Vikings going to look for more scoring out of her than those 2, and she'll find it. Just had a hard time figuring out her defensive assignment in the opening half. We'll see what type of adjustments they make coming out in half number 2. Those are your halftime numbers that we have for you here at the W.E. Osmond Fieldhouse tonight as the Vikings trail Bemidji State at the break by a score of 38-34. We've got the second half of basketball on the way. Our halftime report is presented by Rambo. We're in the business of making you look good at Rambo. And more of that second half is on the way in just a couple of moments, so do stay with us. This is Viking basketball on the VCSU Athletics YouTube channel, newsdakota.com, and the voice of the Vikings, the voice of the Valley, KOVC.
When you're craving the taste of juicy, flavorful, locally sourced beef and pork, look no further than your locally owned Valley Meat Supply. At Valley Meat Supply, we take pride in bringing you the finest cuts of beef and pork straight from local producers. So whether you're planning a mouth-watering barbecue or a cozy family meal, choose Valley Meat Supply for the highest quality, locally grown beef, pork, and award-winning jerky, sticks, and sausage. Valley Meat Supply, West Main, Valley City. Your taste buds will thank you.
Are you on the right financial path? Are all your financial professionals on the same page? At LaRue Laco Financial, you can be assured that your investment professional and tax professional are working together. Call Ryan LaRue or Chase Carpenter at 701-845-6938. Securities offered through LPL Financial. Member FINRA, SIPC.
At CHI Mercy Health, we believe human kindness is at the root of all healing, providing care on a human level, courage when it's needed most, and a connection that's ever present among us all. Human kindness is meant to be shared. It puts a smile on someone's face and seeks to do the same for others. Take the time to nourish what's inside and watch your life flourish outside, because taking care of yourself is an act of human kindness. Just like human kindness, happiness can come from the most unexpected places. Whether it's from your friend, your dog, or a memory, embrace it and pass it on. CHI Mercy Health of Valley City.
When your team, school, or business needs custom apparel or promotional products, Rambo is here to help. With over 40 years of industry-leading experience, state-of-the-art machines, and dedicated employees, we have the tools and facility to handle any job. With online ordering solutions for sports teams and businesses alike, you can count on us to get the job done correctly and on time. To get your next project started, contact Matt or visit us online at rambo.com.
Welcome back to Viking basketball on the VCSU Athletics YouTube channel, newsdakota.com, and the voice of the Vikings, the voice of the Valley, KOVC. A couple of programming notes for you in the Valley City area. First of all, tomorrow, Viking football. Valley City State will be on the road tomorrow. They are going up against Montana Tech. In the season finale, they'll take on the top-ranked team in the conference, one of the top-ranked teams in the country. The Ore Diggers are ranked 4th in the land, and the Vikings will play in Butte, Montana. Coming up tomorrow with a kickoff at 2. Now, at the same time, the the Highlander volleyball team, Valley City High School, will be in a state qualifying matchup in Jamestown tomorrow. They will face Carrington for the opportunity to go to the state tournament. And that will be a matchup that will be played at 3. And so tomorrow, the Highlander volleyball team will be here on KOVC radio. And the Viking football team will be on Q101. That's 101.1 FM. So join us for that 101.1 FM tomorrow for the Viking football team at Montana Tech. And if you're looking for the Highlander volleyball team, that's 1490 AM and 96.3 FM in Valley City coming up tomorrow. And the conference basketball season for the Vikings will start on Tuesday with the travel partner. Head up to the Louis Lee. Mayville State is the opponent, and the Comets will host the Vikings coming up on Tuesday night, 5:30, 7:30 doubleheader there. Scores coming in today. The Dakota Bowl State Championship football games. The AA Championship will go to the Devils Lake Firebirds today. Devils Lake defeats Minot North and wins the state championship by a final score of 39-34. Devils Lake got out to a hot start. I believe led that game by a score of 21-2 and then held on for a 39-34 victory. Earlier today, New Rockford Cheyenne Maddock wins the 9-man state championship at the Fargo Dome with a 38-22 victory over Lemoore Litchfield Marion. And the Rockets are once again 9-man state champions. And at the 1A football level, Langdon area Edmore Munich, the Cardinals with a 29-14 win over Bottineau. And they beat the Braves to move on to the state championship. The 3A football state championship underway right now, featuring Fargo Davies and Bismarck Century, the champions of the East and West respectively. Wrapping up the football season next week, state volleyball tournament. And then that will be a conclusion to the fall sports season. And I noticed some high school hockey ready to get started as early as next week in some places as well. So we're rapidly moving into the winter. I'm sure wrestling will be right behind it. Ellie Broughton looking give and go near side. Osleeson driving, rejected from behind. Cassandra Karen comes up with a block and the takeaway for Bemidji State. Bemidji State leading 38-34 over the Vikings. As we move into the third quarter, a step left side. Ashlyn Gunther in the lane misses a floater, and Osleeson comes down with the rebound. Vikings back up front. Ellie Broughton, baseball's a pass near side. Backus, left corner three. That's off the back end. And a trickle over to Aubrey Heyer, who runs down a loose basketball for Bemidji State. 40 seconds into the third quarter. Vikings still down 4. And Cassandra Karen coming out, bodied up now by Osleeson. A little look comes back to her right hand, and Cassandra Karen has 17 points for Bemidji State. Back to a 6-point edge. Osleeson faces up. Hard take to the basket, turns, got her defender in the air, but couldn't take advantage. Off to Broughton on the right side, a jab step. Looking to Backus on the right wing. Hard crossover, got to the basket, and Backus will score. Dribbling through traffic, Olivia Backus finds her way through for a bucket. Vikings back within 4 at 40-36. Ball on top, Higher for Bemidji State. Stepping towards the right, looking for a couple of screens. Back to the left side after very limited minutes. Evan Apinga comes back onto the floor for Bemidji State and has an opportunity for a touch. Apinga has it back from Plash. Crossover dribble, Apinga hard take to the basket again. High bank shot, score it. And just more going hard to the basket for Bemidji State. It's been a simple game plan for Bemidji State tonight, but it's been effective. They've been able to pick their way through the Viking defense, and it's a bit surprising that Valley City State hasn't decided to mess around with a bit of a zone to try to keep them away from being able to do it. But Valley City State staying in player to player. Off the baseline, Osleason hits a lengthy jumper. Mid-range for Abby Osleason, she's got 4. And the Vikings are back within 4 at 42-38. 8 minutes to play third quarter. Ball on top, higher, left-hand dribble backing in. Kicking off left side, finding Gunther, her back to the basket. Hard take to the window, to the glass, missed it short. Rebound chased around, higher trying to go and get it on a loose ball and did. Gunther back into Karen and a ball foul coming up. It'll go against Abby Osleason of the Vikings. Osleason with number 2 trying to deny the post-entry pass. And Abby Osleason in her sophomore year for the Vikings doing everything she can to try to find a defensive look against Cassandra Karen. Karen has shown Bemidji State something very interesting tonight. She's been an all-around player handling the basketball. This is denied by Osleason. Ends up in the back court. And Osleason will go chase Karen around. The thing about Abby Osleason, there's no quitting this girl. Karen gets a good step again, though. Goes to the basket. This time misses, and Osleason comes down with a rebound. Here come the Vikings into the front court. And it's a high-low look. Osleason driving to the basket. Left it short. Got a foul. Karen will be called for her second. That's the thing that we saw last year about Abby Osleason. She is an absolute competitor. Watching her in those games against Dakota State, for those of you that might be Bemidji State fans, the story on number 14 for the Vikings is that her sister is already on the wall down at Dakota State, which is a conference rival of the Vikings. She's on the Wall of Fame down there, and her brother played basketball at Dakota Wesleyan, which is just down the road from Howard as well. So a couple of players that stayed local, and Abby decided to trek off on her own and landed here at Valley City State. And you could tell in those games with the Trojans last year, she definitely wanted to beat her sister's old team and got it done on one of those occasions. She hits a couple of foul shots here. Tyrion Plash driving baseline right off the window, lead back to 4. And Plash rather no, that bucket will go to Apinga. Evan Apinga will score her 4th. And the Vikings are back down 4. A 3 by Backus that's blocked. Loose ball to Osleason, the post, turns and faces up with Karen. Couple of pivots, and it's fouled, fouling away from the basket. And Osleason's going to go back to the foul line, and that's going to put Cassandra Karen in some foul trouble. Well, now we'll learn a little bit about Bemidji State. Cassandra Karen was on the stat sheet for all 20 first half minutes. And with 3 fouls and only 3 minutes gone by in the third quarter, she'll be withdrawn. And Bemidji State will have to get it done without her for a while. Lindsay Weiler, 6-foot freshman, comes in to take that spot, while Osleason goes back to the foul line and knocks down her 7th point of the night with her 3rd foul shot. 44-41, the Beaver lead is 3. 7:06 to play third quarter, and now 44-42 as both go down for Abby Osleason. And oh boy, I think the officials missed a double dribble. Vanessa Johnson can't believe it. She'll laugh it off. A pickup of a ball that time by Apinga, and then decided to let it fall and got away with it. And Apinga goes to the basket, misses on a layup. Rebounds poked loose, but it's run down by Olivia Backus for the Vikings, and the Vikings can tie or take the lead. Broughton looking in. Osleason faces up. Hard take in the lane with the right hand. A shoulder down, a pull up in the lane, and she'll hit it. Abby Osleason will score and gets a cheer from her teammates as well as she used some body to disrupt the player in front of her hard to the basket. We're tied at 44, 3.5 minutes into the third quarter. Ball on top, Apinga for Bemidji State. Post entry knocked away. The Vikings do change up a little zone. Prunty comes away with the takeaway for Valley City State. Ball to Broughton, left corner. She had her dribble knocked away, but was able to reestablish and works back out towards the top of the key. A screen, reversal near side. Osleason, the step back 3 off the front of the rim, won't fall, and a rebound whistle. And we'll see where this one's going to go. We have blood somewhere. Looks like we do. They're going to ask for Lindsay Weiler to leave the floor. So Sam Vito, really athletic 4 that can probably play the 5, will step in for Bemidji State. And we'll also see the return of Tiffany Little. Or Liddy, my apologies, Tiffany Liddy. By the way, I was trying to learn the pronunciations of the Bemidji State players today, and Liddy did not have a pronouncer by her name, and you couldn't tell if that was an I or an L. My apologies, folks. Drive to the basket. Plash comes up empty. So it's Tiffany Liddy that's on the floor. Vikings back into the front court with the basketball. Prunty left wing, left by herself. Hard take to the basket. She's fouled by Liddy. And Tiffany Liddy has her second foul. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification as we continue along with VCSU Viking basketball tonight. The Vikings taking on Bemidji State. And we'll go ahead and get that station identifier for those of you that are with us here tonight. We'll pause 10 seconds for station identification as the Vikings and Bemidji State battle it out in women's basketball here tonight. Let's get to it.
This is 1490 KOVC AM Valley City and 96.3 K242CZ Valley City.
The voice of the Valley.
One of two foul shots is good for Aubrey Prunty, and the Vikings will take a 45-44 lead. 5:44 to play in quarter number 3, and now a whistle. And what else do we have? Do we have some blood on the floor? I would guess that's what it looks like based on the motions by the officials here. And they're asking for some service of the floor here, so the teams will huddle up back in the VCSU Viking back court. And now the media timeout is going to be taken. They'll take it early, but they'll take it. So a media stoppage will be taken. 5:44 to play third quarter. Vikings by 1, 45-44 over Bemidji State here in Viking women's basketball on the VCSU Athletics YouTube channel, newsdakota.com, the voice of the Vikings, the voice of the Valley, KOVC.
When you're craving the taste of juicy, flavorful, locally sourced beef and pork, look no further than your locally owned Valley Meat Supply. At Valley Meat Supply, we take pride in bringing you the finest cuts of beef and pork straight from local producers. So whether you're planning a mouth-watering barbecue or a cozy family meal, choose Valley Meat Supply for the highest quality, locally grown beef, pork, and award-winning jerky, sticks, and sausage. Valley Meat Supply, West Main, Valley City. Your taste buds will thank you.
Experience the thrill, feel the passion, and join the excitement. Tickets on sale now at VCSUVikings.com.
Lang hard to the basket with a two-hand flush. He burst through it. He's to the end zone. Touchdown, Valley City State.
Here's the game-winning shot. Does it go? Yes, it does!
Nelson on the attack. Holland can't make the play. The Vikings sweep the Jimmy. Welcome back to Viking basketball on the VCSU Athletics YouTube channel, newsdakota.com, the voice of the Vikings, the voice of the Valley, KOVC. Again, scoreboard difficulties here tonight. We'll check it. Nope, still not there. Valley City State leading by 1, 45-44. Hard take in the lane to fall away off the glass is good for Tiffany Liddy. Liddy's got 6, and the lead will swing back to Bemidji State by a score of 46-45. Ellie Broughton up front for the Vikings. Taking a look in, Osleeson comes out to take the basketball from the high post on the perimeter. Ball right side of the floor, finding its way to Spacier. A stop, left corner to Broughton, back into Osleeson. Hard take against Vito. Missed the shot off the side of the backboard, and the rebound picked up by Ashlyn Gunther. Here comes Bemidji State on the break, 4-on-3. A kick to Plash, and out on top, and a 3 by Apinga comes up short. Rebound underneath to Abby Osleeson. Vikings still down 1 at the halfway point of the third quarter. Broughton wants the screen, gets it, steps left off the dribble, the switch. Liddy comes out the defender. Broughton tried to go in hard, had the ball come loose. Loose basketball to Gunther. 2-on-2 for Bemidji State in transition, and the pull-up by Apinga will score. Evan Apinga has 6, and the lead is now 3 for Bemidji State. A drive the other way, Prunty comes up empty off the heel of the basket. Rebound underneath is won by Liddy, and here comes Bemidji State. They're up a player 5-on-4 after Osleeson hit the floor hard on the other side. Liddy crossover dribble, ball trickles loose. Backus goes down to get it, turns into a held ball, and the arrow will favor the Beavers. And Ellie Powell will step back into the matchup for the Vikings. 48-45, Bemidji State by 3. Bemidji State led by 10. In the waning moments of the first half, the Vikings sprinted out to an 8-0 run, cut it to 2. It was 38-34 at the break. Bemidji State. The Vikings have led 45-44 here in this third quarter, but the Beavers right now with a 3-point edge. Inbounds pass will come in from Plash. She'll come out to the top, finding her way to Gunther. A step in the lane against the Vikings. Kick out, Plash for 3. Rattles and won't fall. And the rebound is Spacier for the Vikings. They want to stretch. Ball near side of the floor. Backus underneath. Powell posting up with the left hand. Missing, chasing down her own miss. Kicking to Broughton. A 3 for the Vikings. Comes up empty. And this time the rebound to Gunther for Bemidji State. The triple is evading the Vikings as of late. They haven't had much luck from beyond the arc since early in the ballgame. Vito a step and a pivot and a foul against Ellie Broughton. Boy, I'll tell you what, Chelsea Stoltenberg, the head coach for Bemidji State, has not been happy all night long. She is just reading the officials, an absolute riot act in front of the Bemidji State bench on just about every piece of contact here. We're going to see the third foul, I believe, against Broughton, or did they call it on us, Leeson? There it is. It's the third foul on Ellie Broughton. So the Vikings will likely have to make a change at the point guard spot, although they haven't made it yet. Just under 4 minutes to play third quarter. Vito's first foul shot is strong. 4 in holding for Sam Vito. And Ellie Broughton staying in the game here. A little scary for the Vikings. 3 fouls. Still about 4 minutes to go third quarter. Second foul shot for Vito hits. And it's a 2-pair lead now for the Beavers at 49-45. Vikings up front, right side Backus. Driving towards her left, looks down the post, trying to find Powell. That one disrupted. Cassandra Kieran coming back into the matchup. She takes that one away. Hard take to the basket, and a foul coming up against Delaney Cotton, trying to back up against the dribble drive off the near edge. And that'll put Ashlyn Gunther on the foul line. Cotton's first, and the third against the Vikings here in the third quarter. Delaney, 5'9" junior, Wheatland, North Dakota native. And, of course, Central Cass Squirrel product off of a state championship team for the Central Cass Squirrels, the Class B level. Gunther knocks down her fourth. Central Cass now at the A level as they've split off and gone to the 3-division system for high school basketball in North Dakota. Second foul shot will not fall for Gunther. And a loose basketball run down by Tiana Schwinghammer for Valley City State. Vikings into the front court, trailing by 5. Hard take by Broughton, and that one's missed off the front of the rim. Broughton wants some contact, doesn't get it. Rebound to Vito for Bemidji State. Beavers back up front. Stopped by Gunther, back to Vito. They look into the post. Karen backing up on Powell. Hooks her, turns and scores. Cassandra Karen knows how to use the elbow. That's 19 for Cassandra Karen. The Vikings getting the fast break the other way, down by 7 at 52-45. Hard take by Broughton, hit from behind. And the foul will go against Gunther, her third. So the Vikings getting cold again from the perimeter. You know, we talked about the Vikings from the three-point line. The Vikings have not hit a 3 since the first quarter. 3 deep threes for Ellie Broughton forced Bemidji State into an early timeout in the opening quarter. And since then, the Vikings have not had a 3 go down. They've had a couple of open looks, but they have not been able to find their way to a 3-point basket since early in the game. Broughton's first foul shot trickles off the heel of the rim and won't fall. 13 for Ellie Broughton, has not yet scored in the second half. Lead still 7. Second foul shot, cuts it to 6. Ellie Broughton makes it 14. 52-46, the Vikings with a 6-point deficit looking uphill against Bemidji State here in the third quarter. Hard drive to the basket and a foul coming up as Apinga took a fist to the face. Schwinghammer came over the top with a hard swing and got Apinga right in the face. Schwinghammer has her second personal foul. And Heyer will step back in. Aubrey Heyer will come back into the matchup for Bemidji State. One of 3 Beavers now with 3 fouls. The other is Cassandra Kieran, who's also back in the game playing. We didn't see her minutes limited quite as severely as we thought after she picked up that third foul. First foul shot for Apinga gives her 7 all in the quarter. Again, Evan Apinga picked up 2 early fouls in the opening quarter, and it looks like that really disrupted what Bemidji State wanted to do as far as a rotation. She knocks down both ends, and the lead is back to 8 for the Beavers. A drive in by Lucan, she's fouled. And that's going to be a very quick fourth against Aubrey Heyer. So this will put Liz Lucan on the foul line. And it's going to force Bemidji State a little deeper into their depth chart here. Brooklyn Wood, a 5'8" sophomore from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, will come in for the first time tonight. She'll replace Heyer, who steps off. This will be the 11th Beaver to get time here this evening. And the first foul shot for Lucan will score. 2 for Liz Lucan. 54-47. Valley City State within 7 on the LaRue Laco Financial scoreboard. 2:55 to play third quarter, and both go down for Lucan. The Vikings need a 3-point shot, though, to try to shake this loose. Up the floor, Pinga, backdoor cut, hard take, jump stop. Brooklyn Wood scores right into the game. Easy bucket, and the Bemidji State bench comes to life, celebrating their sophomore getting a basket. Schwinghammer on top. Delaney Cotton loads a three. It trickles around and goes in. Vikings needed that. Delaney Cotton answers the two of the three. The Vikings back within 5 at 56-51. Vito off to the top of the key. Little shake there for Gabby Finneday. Finneday spinning back left, looking back towards the corner, found Wood. They look into the post. Karen matching up with Powell, trying to take the step, finger roll strong. Good defensive stand by Ellie Powell. Rebound to Schwinghammer, stretch pass to Cotton, through her hands. That's out of bounds. Oh, I thought I saw that hit Delaney Cotton last. The officials are going to confer. The initial call is Viking basketball, but this is going to go back to Bemidji State. Cotton was on the back end of that. Our far side official, I think, just got screened. Delaney Cotton was underneath. She had inside position and probably couldn't see the top of the hands from Delaney Cotton right through a Bemidji State post player. And so they get together and confer. They get it right. Brooklyn Wood into the front court for the Beavers. Wood driving into the lane. Hard take to the basket. Little double effort scores right around Ellie Broughton. Broughton turns around and talks with Liz Lucan. I believe she thought she had some help on that side and didn't get it. Lead back to 7 at 58-51. Beavers with 1:45 to play here in the third quarter. Broughton goes all the way to the glass. Ellie Broughton will score her 16th. Vikings back within 5 at 58-53. Ball top of the key. Vito, a stop on top. Looking back left side. Ball's on the floor being chased, and it's tied up. Broughton gets in on the held ball, and the Vikings will force a turnover. Spacier set to return for the Vikings. And Bemidji State will send in for the first time a number 40 that we do not have on our roster tonight. Well, we'll do our best with that. We'll try to figure it out. I believe I have Bemidji State's roster available to me online if we take a look at it here. I don't see a 40 on any of their box scores, however. Take to the basket for the Vikings, ends up empty. Brooklyn Wood ends up hitting the floor, coming down with a rebound, but was able to squeeze it out to a Pinga. Right side, Vito for three connects. Sam Vito with a transition three for Bemidji State. Makes it 61-53. The Vikings back down 8 to the Beavers. Broughton a crossover, hit by a double team on the foul line. Step through that, finger roll missed, and a rebound over the top comes down for our number 40 that just entered the game. 61-53, Beavers with an 8-point lead, looking to equal or establish a new biggest lead of the game. A take to the basket for Gabby Finneday that ends up empty. Vikings come away with a rebound. Lucan driving baseline, goes in and gets clobbered. Coming down against number 40. Well, we'll take the ear flap off and see who they announce. They don't have number 40 either. We'll see if we can go to the live stats and pick it up here. They may have entered number 40 for Bemidji State. Well, they don't have her on the game sheet either. First foul shot is good for Liz Lucan. That will give her 4. The lead is cut to 7. Just looking through to see if there's anybody on the sheet that they've entered that we do not have, but they haven't done that as of yet either. Second foul shot is good for Lucan. That will give her 5. And it's 61-55. Oh, I see him. Okay. Lindsey Weiler. All right. The player who had blood, she's got a new uniform. All right. There we go. All right. All right. So it's Lindsey Weiler that picked up the call. Was wearing 32, is now wearing 40. All right. We got it. We got it. You know what? We are knocking out details tonight as we go. A Pinga into the right corner. Wood, a 3 out of the right corner that comes up empty. Rebound to Powell with 10 seconds left in the third quarter. Vikings down 6, trying to get up the floor. Prunty left wing going into Spacier. She draws the crowd out to Lucan. High 3 at the horn. It's picked up, and a putback by Prunty ends up empty, and that'll take us to the end of the third quarter. 61-55, Bemidji State with a 6-point lead over Valley City State. As we head to quarter number 4, we have a timeout before we join the final frame of basketball. This is Viking basketball on the VCSU Athletics YouTube channel, newsdakota.com, and the voice of the Vikings, the voice of the Valley, KOVC.
Orthopedic pain is limiting. It's unpredictable. And when it disrupts the way you move, it disrupts the way you live. Life is better when you feel empowered to move the way you want, when you want. And that's where our experts come in. We're your guides to orthopedic and sports medicine treatment options that can manage your pain, rehab your injuries, and restore your confidence. Take back the freedom to move. Explore your orthopedic options at Sanford Health.
We aren't meant to be still. And while you determine the direction you'll go, we're just here to help you along the way. So go. Go with experience. Go with teamwork. Go with neighbors. Go with integrity.
Welcome back to Viking basketball. We move to quarter number 4 of the matchup tonight. The Viking women trailing Bemidji State University 61-55 on our LaRue Laco Financial scoreboard. Evan Apinga trapped by a double team in the right corner. Looks to get rid of it, was able to turn it back out to Gabby Finaday. Ball off the top for Apinga again, and now to the top for Sam Vito. Back to Finaday. A look inside with the shot clock at 10. Deep three was altered. Aubrey Prunty comes up with a loose basketball. Vikings into the front court. Prunty with some open floor against Brooklyn Wood. Steps out in the perimeter. Works back to the top for Broughton. Madison Spacier stopping the foul line. Looks back top of the key for Liz Lucan. The Bemidji State Beavers wanted to travel there. A three on the way by Broughton is good. And that breaks a Viking stalemate from the three-point line that lasted since the first quarter, with the exception of Delaney Cotton's three a couple of moments ago. Vikings cut it to 3, 61-58. That's the first since the first quarter for Ellie Broughton from beyond. Vito to the basket, misses a scoop layup. Rebound Prunty for the Vikings. Chance to cut it to one or tie. A drive by Lucan. Shot blocked from behind. It's out of bounds by Lindsay Weiler. And the Vikings will keep the basketball in the front court. Just under 9 to play, 8:55 to go. Thank you for working through some technical issues with us tonight. We had just about everything taken care of except for that scoreboard. We're still working on that situation. Ball to Broughton, right corner, mid-range jump shot. Good for Ellie Broughton. Broughton's now beginning to feel some momentum again. Broughton with 21 points this evening for the Vikings. Lead cut to 1. Brooklyn Wood for 3. Short. Rebound off to Broughton on the near baseline. The Vikings can take the lead here in the fourth quarter of basketball. Prunty on the left side of the floor. Knifes the ball low, trying to get low against Wood. Drives her way in the lane, kick out. This is a Spacier three-point shot that's off the front of the rim. This time the rebound underneath to Evan Apinga for Bemidji State. Beavers back up front with a 1-point lead. Ball on the top of the key for Tyron Plash. Plash will walk off to the right side, gets a screen from Weiler. Coming back to her left hand, off to Brooklyn Wood on the top of the key. Wood driving left on Lucan, a stop in the corner. She tried to turn it back to the perimeter. Vikings force a turnover, then give it back. Vito looks into Wood after giving the ball back by the Vikings, and a rebound foul coming up on a missed shot by Wood. They're going to get Weiler for the foul. Be the second on Lindsay Weiler, and we'll see Cassandra Karen come back into the matchup for Bemidji State. Also, Aubrey Heyer will come back in as well, and we'll see the return of Ashlyn Gunther for the Beavers on a line change up front. 8 minutes to go, fourth quarter. 61-60. The Vikings down 1 to Bemidji State. Ball top of the key, and it's picked up on top by Ellie Powell. Back to Ellie Broughton, who takes a three. That one's off the heel of the rim, and Heyer comes up with a rebound for Bemidji State. Beavers back up front. Apinga stepping left, handing off to Tyron Plash. Ball comes back to Heyer on the right side. Plash out on top. Ball with Gunther. She'll drive to the basket. Open layup again. Ashlyn Gunther comes up with her 6th point tonight. Lead back to 3 for Bemidji State. 63-60. Beavers on top. A head fake on the top by Spacier. Handing off for Tiana Schwinghammer. Ball on the right side of the floor. Lucan, spin move. Hard take in. Kick back out. Broughton on the right side of the floor. A couple of jab steps to loosen the defender. She works inside the lane. Gets to her right hand, but misses a scoop layup. Rebound pulled down by Apinga. Bemidji State's up a player in the front court in transition. Ball right side of the floor for Ashlyn Gunther. Back to the top of the key again. They look high-low to Karen, and it'll be Ellie Powell picking up a foul from behind. Powell's first against the Vikings, with 7:01 to go here in the fourth quarter. Tilda Maritzen back in, and Olivia Backus comes back in as well. I would assume we'll see the re-entry of Abby Osleisen at some point. She had a very good third quarter. Osleisen now with 10. 8 of those came in the third quarter of basketball. Inbounds pass to Karen. She'll play it back to the right wing for Gunther, and now Karen again. Little high-low look off the right baseline. Shot may have been altered. It ends up short, and a rebound to Tiana, rather to Tilda Maritzen for the Vikings. Vikings back up front, and now we've got an offensive foul against Maritzen trying to set a screen. She apparently just launched Cassandra Karen, and Maritzen will pick up her first personal. Scoring numbers at this point in the game. Let's go ahead and see if we can't catch up with some of that for you while we work through some things tonight. 19 points for Cassandra Karen to lead the way for Bemidji State. Evan Apinga with 8, Sam Vito with 8, a host of 6s. Ashlyn Gunther, Tyrion Plash, and also 6 tonight for Tiffany Liddy. 63-60, the Vikings with a 3-point deficit. They're back up the floor after another miss from Bemidji State. Maritzen falling away, left hand strong. A rebound by Schwinghammer. She'll turn it back to Backus, and off the dribble, a 3 to tie it. Ends up off the heel of the rim. Karen trying to drive for the rebound. Got it and was able to get the ball free before she fell to the floor for the travel. Heyer will take a 3 for Bemidji State and connects. Aubrey Heyer with 3 makes it a 6-point lead for Bemidji State. For the Vikings tonight, scoring numbers 23 for Ellie Broughton. She's had a big night. Abias Leeson with 10. Broughton looking right side, finding Madison Spacier. A look by Broughton to the near side corner. Ball taken by Backus, and now Schwinghammer. She opens things up with a drive inside, pulls up on a mid-range and missed it. Rebound just caroms out and taken back by Tyrion Plash for Bemidji State. They can go up 8 or 9 on this possession with 5:42 to play in the fourth quarter. Heyer working her way underneath, reverse layup, missed it. Looks for her own rebound, grabbed it against Maritzen, and then gets fouled by Ellie Broughton coming back out to the perimeter. Number 4 on Ellie Broughton. And with 5:33 to go in the fourth quarter, the Vikings commit their third. They have only 1 foul to give before Bemidji State earns the penalty here in the fourth quarter. 66-60, Bemidji State up a half dozen. Inbounds pass on top, Schwinghammer took it away. Rips it away from Ashlyn Gunther. Schwinghammer driving and a foul coming up. Schwinghammer trying to make a strong move to the post, and Gunther will pick up her 4th and Bemidji State's 2nd of the fourth quarter. Sophie Bachmeyer comes on to replace Ellie Broughton, who just picked up that 4th foul. Sam Vito will return for Bemidji State, replacing Ashlyn Gunther. 66-60, the Vikings down 6 on the LaRue Lacko Financial scoreboard. 5:29 to play, fourth quarter. Ball with Backus, handing off to Sophie Bachmeyer. Bachmeyer hesitation, drive into the lane, kick out. Schwinghammer, she'll work to the right, looks underneath, found Tilda Maritzen wide open. Great give and go into the high-low look, and it's 2 posts. Schwinghammer and Maritzen that executed. Maritzen scores and cuts the lead to 4 at 66-62. Ball right side of the floor, Tyrion Plash into Karen, fall away. Karen trickles around, can't get it. Good defensive stand inside that time by Spacier. The Vikings rebound to Schwinghammer. Bachmeyer into the front court, finding Backus into Maritzen. She'll back down against Heyer. The fall away, the left hand left short. Heyer the rebound and a foul against Schwinghammer. That's the last foul that the Vikings had to give of the quarter. And that should bring us to the media stoppage with 4:51 left to go here in the fourth quarter of basketball. 66-62, Bemidji State by 4 over Valley City State with 4:51 to go in quarter number 4. We have a timeout for media. This is our coverage of Viking basketball on the VCSU Athletics YouTube channel, NewsDakota.com, the voice of the Vikings, the voice of the Valley, KOVC.
When your team, school, or business needs custom apparel or promotional products, Rambo is here to help. With over 40 years of industry-leading experience, state-of-the-art machines, and dedicated employees, we have the tools and facility to handle any job. With online ordering solutions for sports teams and businesses alike, you can count on us to get the job done correctly and on time. To get your next project started, contact Matt or visit us online at rambo.com.
Hi, this is Clint from Central Avenue Health Mart Pharmacy in beautiful downtown Valley City, your only locally owned pharmacy since 1989. When you're locally owned, you care about your community and your customers. We offer a great selection of gifts and toys, as well as yarns, fabrics, sewing, and crafting. We are here for you from 9 to 5:30 weekdays and Saturdays 9 to 1. For all your pharmaceutical needs, give us a call, 845-5280.
Health Mart, taking time to listen and care.
Timeout taken for media with 4:51 left to play here in the fourth quarter. The Vikings trailing by 4 to Bemidji State by a score of 66-62. Drive right side of the floor, Evan Apinga handing off. Vito, a wide open lane to the basket, but missed a layup. Schwinghammer comes down with a rebound for the Vikings. The Vikings back up the floor. Bachmeyer looking left corner. Backus spins her way down the lane. Back to Bachmeyer in the corner again, bodied up by Apinga and a foul. Evan Apinga will pick up her third. Players in danger right now. Ellie Broughton with 4 for the Vikings, their leading scorer with 23. And Aubrey Heyer with 4. Ashlyn Gunther with 4 for Bemidji State. That is the third foul for the Beavers. They have 1 foul left to give before the penalty. Vikings down 66-62. Inbounds pass swatted away. Thrown up for grabs, and Apinga to the basket. Takes a wide open layup. Apinga with 10. Takeaway, breakaway. The Vikings back down 6 at 68-62. Got to stop the bleeding in those situations here. Bachmeyer looking to Tilda Maritzen. Maritzen a step back, a look underneath. Spacer goes through. We see Schwinghammer go through high in the post. Back to Bachmeyer, aggressive spin move going in against Cassandra Karen on a switch, and Bachmeyer threw the basketball away. Heyer comes away with the takeaway. Up the floor, Plash, a high bank layup missed. Heyer the offensive board, fouled from behind by Olivia Backus. And Ellie Broughton's back at the table for Valley City State. Crunch time. She's going to have to play carefully with 4 fouls. We'll also see Abby Osleeson coming back into the matchup for the Vikings. So the Vikings pushing their chips into the middle of the table here, with Broughton coming in with 4 fouls trying to stabilize the offense. In the meantime, Aubrey Heyer is at the foul line. Number 1 rolls off. 3 and holding for Heyer. The lead is 68-62. Bemidji State by 6. Looking to go up by 7, and Heyer will do that for the Beavers with second of 2 foul shots. Vikings down 7. Osleeson in the middle of the lane has the ball stripped loose, and the ball taken back by Sam Vito for Bemidji State. Beavers back into the front court. Vito working right side. Plash wheels one into Karen. Underneath against Spacia. Count it, 1 for Cassandra Karen. It's a big, big play inside for Cassandra Karen to put the Beavers back up 7 and get an and 1 opportunity. Karen with 21 points. VCSU Viking replay as a timeout will be taken by the Vikings. This is Karen inside, getting the harm, going to the basket. Score for Cassandra up, and that's going to take us to a stoppage as the Vikings will call for timeout. The lead is 9, 71-62. Bemidji State a chance to equal their biggest lead of the game coming up after the timeout, and we have a timeout on the floor. This is Viking basketball on the VCSU Athletics YouTube channel, newsdakota.com, and the voice of the Vikings, the voice of the Valley, KOVC.
Quality education, affordable tuition, student opportunities. That's the Viking promise. Valley City State University. Discover yourself here at VCSU. Visit today.
Timeout taken by the Vikings with the clock down to 3:43 to play in the fourth quarter. The Vikings led early in the third, 45-44, after they went down by 10 in the opening half, 36-26. Now Bemidji State on the doorstep of reestablishing that 10-point lead. It's 71-62. Bemidji State by 9 over the Vikings. And Bemidji State will find themselves at the foul line after a bucket for Cassandra Karen. 6-foot senior out of Eden Prairie, Minnesota, who has been an absolute factor tonight, looking for point 22. She'll miss, and the lead remains 9. That one rattles in and out, and Ellie Broughton comes away with the basketball. The Vikings take a little different gear on this approach up the floor. Broughton doesn't stretch. The Vikings settle into half court. Schwinghammer looking for a screen, dribbling right. Comes out top of the key, goes inside, a stop and a look back to the perimeter. Backus draws the defender with a head fake. Turns, takes a look to the perimeter. Instead, Osleeson, mid-range jump shot, right elbow. That's off the heel of the rim. That's a jump shot she can hit. Karen comes up with a rebound for Bemidji State. Beavers back into the front court with it. Plash looking inside. Vito in transition. Reverse layup good for Sam Vito. There's a lot of athleticism on this Bemidji State team. Schwinghammer, transition 3, left it short. Vito comes up with the board. The Beavers lead by 11 and now have control of the basketball game in the final 3 minutes. Left side, Apinga, transition 3. That rattles off. Rebound deflected to the baseline. This will go back to Bemidji State. You take a look at the depth of this Bemidji State team, and they really didn't get a chance to show it all to us tonight, but it obviously starts with Karen on the inside. You've got Plash at the guard position, but Sam Vito comes off the bench. Very athletic player, higher in spots, Apinga in spots. This is a Bemidji State team that's got some depth to it. That might be a difference between their team last year and this year. They had a tough season a year ago, and there's some new faces on this Bemidji State team that have really given them an extra push tonight. Vikings down 11. They have the basketball after a Bemidji State turnover with 2:35 to play in the fourth quarter. Backus, crossover dribble, hard take to the basket. Count it, and one for Olivia Backus. I'm not sure how she got that one to go down. She was falling away from about 8 feet shy of the basket. Gets the hoop and hard. VCSU Athletics replay. Out on top, this is Backus, left wing. Goes hard on a crossover, and well, she got that one falling away from her. Comes up with the opportunity for the foul shot. Misses on the foul shot. She'll leave that empty. And the Vikings get back to within 9 and holding 73-64. Bemidji State with 2:20 to play fourth quarter. Ball right side of the floor with Plash. She'll reverse back to Apinga on the top of the key. They look in. Karen trying to back down on Osleason. Doesn't scores. Cassandra Karen, 23 points tonight. Lead back to 11 at 75-64 Bemidji State. Broughton on the top of the key for the Vikings. Off to the near side of the floor. Crossover by Broughton, actually by Backus. Fall away in the lane, missed. Rebound deflected loose, and Karen has it on the baseline. We're inside of 2 minutes to go. And Bemidji State can start salting this one away. 3-on-1 break. Vito underneath. Apinga off the glass will score. Apinga with 12. And now it's a 13-point lead, and some of the writing begins to go up on the wall. Ball right side of the floor. Broughton into the right elbow. Osleason head fake to draw. Karen draws a foul. And Cassandra Karen will pick up her fourth. With 1:37 left to go in the matchup. And the Vikings will find themselves on the foul line trying to cut into this Bemidji State lead. But Vikings undefeated coming into this one tonight. And are in some trouble down the stretch now. First foul shot on the way is good for Abby Osleason. Osleason with her 11th point this evening. Bemidji State lead is 12, 77-65. Second foul shot makes it 77-66. And Osleason will step out. Ellie Powell comes back into the matchup with 1:37 to go. Inbounds pass, Aubrey Heyer will play it in to Evan Apinga for Bemidji State. 90 seconds left. And we'll see the ball come up. Apinga looking right side. Plash has it knocked loose, was able to reestablish. Off to Heyer, top of the key, Apinga. Shot clock half expired. Vito's just going to step back, take a three. Comes up empty. And the rebound to Broughton for the Vikings, who wants to run 3-on-3. Broughton stepping out left side. Looks back top of the key. The rest of the team catches up. So do the Beavers. 20, looking right, driving into the left elbow. Double pivot move, a stop. Play back towards the right side. Crossover, hard take in for Backus. She'll score. Olivia Backus with 8. Vikings back within 9. Less than a minute to play now in the fourth quarter. A trap in the backcourt out of some pressure forces a Bemidji State turnover. Prunty up front. The Vikings need a 3 in this situation. Instead, they throw it away. They were looking in for Vito, or actually across the lane, and Vito steps in front of that for Bemidji State. And now with 40 seconds to go in the fourth quarter, Bemidji State up front looking to run this one out. Ball on the left side of the floor. It'll be taken by Plash. A spin move to get free of defensive traffic and a foul, or rather timeout. Timeout taken by Bemidji State. Well, again, a programming note for you. We'll have a brief post-game report and a wrap-up coming up here in a couple of moments. But a programming note for you. You can see those of you on the video screen. And again, for whatever reason, that didn't stick tonight, did it? I'm not sure why that didn't stick. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the right graphic. We have just had a rather interesting night here tonight trying to make things work for you here this evening. We had this for you saved earlier. And for whatever reason, it decided to go away. Coming up tomorrow, you can see it on your screen now for those of you on the video side of things. Montana Tech, Valley City State football tomorrow. That game is a 2 o'clock Central Time kickoff. We'll have a 1:30 pregame report on Q101 tomorrow. That's Q101 FM, 101.1 FM. And the Highlander volleyball team will be here on KOVC AM tomorrow trying to play their way into the state tournament. More basketball coming up on Tuesday night when the Vikings men and women will both go to Mayville State. Inbounds play comes in from Bemidji State in front of their bench. It'll be Aubrey Heyer that plays it in for the Beavers. And Terry Bohan will come off the baseline, and we'll have a conversation between a couple of officials. 29 seconds to play. The shot clock is off, and that's why they're talking. Bemidji State took a timeout, and somebody reset the shot clock coming out, and they're going to have to determine. They put 13 up, and I think that's probably the right spot to land. And the inbounds play will come in from Aubrey Heyer for Bemidji State. They look into the post, and Ellie Powell gets up and swats the ball loose. We didn't see J.C. Richter tonight for the Vikings. She's on the bench for Valley City State. Coming over from the volleyball team for her senior year of basketball, and that's 11, 12 points per game the Vikings can look for there. A foul coming up as Prunty will commit a foul on Cassandra Karen with the inbounds pass coming in. But it'll be exciting to see her be able to contribute. We'll see if she can play against Mayville State coming up on Tuesday night when the conference basketball season starts. Conference basketball starts much earlier for the Vikings this year than in past years. When the North Star Conference was going last year, just a handful of opponents and played everybody 3 times. That still left you with a bunch of non-conference games. This year, this is it. A couple of mid-season opportunities coming up. The Viking men and women will each play Trinity Bible College. And I believe there's one more with Dakota Wesleyan for the Viking men as well. But there is a start of conference play coming up on Tuesday night at Mayville State, and that is going to be the start of games that are going to count. Foul shot went in for Cassandra Karen. 24 for Cassandra Karen tonight by my count. They've got her for 25 down below. I'll just add a foul shot, no big deal. 3 in double figures for Bemidji State tonight. Evan Apinga with 12 and Sam Vito with 10 off the bench. And 6 points each for Gunther, Plash, and Liddy. The Vikings, a big night from Ellie Broughton. And although it will be a loss this evening, the Vikings seeing Ellie Broughton take her shot and hit it, that's a step forward for the Vikings. They were better last year when Ellie Broughton was a scorer, and they need her to be that from that point guard position. And she's beginning to understand that role. You can tell she wants to play into it. 23 tonight, went looking for a shot as soon as she could find it tonight. 4 of 9 from the three-point line. Abby Osleeson with 12. Olivia Backus with a solid 9 in support tonight. But the Vikings just didn't have an answer for Bemidji State defensively this evening. 25 seconds to go. Vikings with the basketball. Prunty driving baseline. Off to Broughton. She's got an open look at a 3. Missed it short. And the rebound comes down with Heyer, and the Vikings will corral it. Delaney Cotton will lay in the foul with 16.9 seconds left. You might be wondering here, if you're a fan watching the game, kind of the final touch, everything but the score has been decided, why commit the foul? Well, in this case, early in the season, and this is an opportunity for you to see what the Vikings do with their hands on the basketball and time running out. You have an opportunity to kind of get a look at that spot of your team, and so it's a worthwhile foul to commit here for Delaney Cotton. Even though the Vikings entertain no opportunity of coming back with this little bit of time left, when you're early in the year and it's not a conference game, you have an opportunity to see your team in a little different light with their hands on the ball down the stretch. Get an idea of what that's going to look like. First foul shot was good for Heyer, and the second is good as well. The lead is 13, 81-68. Won't tell the tale of the tape on the scoreboard on this one. Backus, Broughton gets a screen, takes a 3 at the horn. Off the heel, not at the horn, I guess. Another rebound taken away by Apinga. She'll step loose, comes out, and now the Beavers will run it out. And your final score in this one tonight will be Bemidji State 81, Valley City State University 68. The Vikings fall to 3-1 in the season. Bemidji State will get their first victory of their regular season and go to 1-0 after a couple of wins in the exhibition season got things started. We'll take a final break on our post-game report and come back to wrap this one up. This is Viking basketball on the VCSU Athletics YouTube channel, NewsDakota.com, the voice of the Vikings and the voice of the Valley, KOVC. Stay with us. More on the way next.
When you're craving the taste of juicy, flavorful, locally sourced beef and pork, look no further than your locally owned Valley Meat Supply. At Valley Meat Supply, we take pride in bringing you the finest cuts of beef and pork straight from local producers. So whether you're planning a mouth-watering barbecue or a cozy family meal, choose Valley Meat Supply for the highest quality, locally grown beef, pork, and award-winning jerky, sticks, and sausage. Valley Meat Supply, West Main, Valley City. Your taste buds will thank you.
Hey college students, are you looking for a part-time job that works around your schedule, pays well, and gives you free money for college every year? McDonald's offers all of it. We can work around your schedule, and we give $2,500 scholarships to everyone who works for 3 months and averages 15 hours per week. That's 2 full shifts a week or 3 shifts of 5 hours. It's that easy. Let us help you become our next scholarship recipient. Come join our team. Text ND29 to 38000 to apply today.
Orthopedic pain is limiting. It's unpredictable. And when it disrupts the way you move, it disrupts the way you live. Life is better when you feel empowered to move the way you want, when you want. And that's where our experts come in. We're your guides to orthopedic and sports medicine treatment options that can manage your pain, rehab your injuries, and restore your confidence. Take back the freedom to move. Explore your orthopedic options at Sanford Health.
Welcome back to our post-game report tonight. The Vikings are defeated by Bemidji State by a final score of 81-68. The Viking women will fall to 3-1 in the year. They get ready to start conference play. They will go up against Mayville State University coming up on Tuesday night. That'll be a men's and women's doubleheader. That'll be played at the Louis Lee Fieldhouse on campus of Mayville State University. So get ready for that and stay tuned for further broadcast details. And as far as Bemidji State is concerned, they will move on to a game at home. That'll take place against the University of Minnesota Morris, and their conference opener comes up November 25th, the week of Thanksgiving. They'll get one in before they take the break for the Thanksgiving holiday. And they'll play the University of Minnesota Duluth from right down the road. And then they're off to Tampa, Florida for the Thanksgiving Classic to take on FIT and the University of Tampa before they come back for more conference basketball. Coming up on a Thursday night affair in Bemidji against Minnesota State University Moorhead. That's December 4th. And then off to Crookston to take on the University of Minnesota Crookston, the Golden Eagles, on the 6th of December. But again, next up for Bemidji State will be Minnesota Morris on Monday night, and that will be in Bemidji. Final score in this one, 81-68 tonight, as we bring you our post-game report this evening. Bemidji State on the final scoring in this one, led by a 25-point night from Cassandra Karen in the post. Sam Vito with 10 this evening. And we'll see Ashlyn Gunther, also Tieran Plash, and also tonight Tiffany Liddy, and one more as well tonight. I believe Aubrey Heyer all had 6 points this evening. 4 points this evening for Brooklyn Wood, who had limited minutes this evening, and also Gabby Finaday with 3 for Bemidji State tonight. For the Vikings, Valley City State was led in this one by Ellie Broughton with 23 points tonight. Abias Leeson with 12, and Olivia Backus had 9 tonight. 6 points for Tiana Schwinghammer. They'll look for more from Schwinghammer throughout the course of the season. Liz Lukin with 5 this evening. We'll see 4 from Ellie Powell, 4 from Tilda Maritzen tonight. Delaney Cotton with a 3, and 2 points tonight for Madison Spacier, as well as Sophie Bachmeyer, and a single for Aubrey Prunty tonight, making the final score 81-68. As far as the summary in this one was concerned tonight, the Vikings end up shooting 22 of 65 from the field. That's disappointing at home, shooting 33.8% tonight. Bemidji State shot 45.6%. The Vikings got after it a little bit better defensively in the second half than they did in the first, but Bemidji State still found probably too many opportunities to dribble to the basket for high percentage looks, and that really did the Vikings in this one tonight. The Vikings were 26% from the three-point line tonight, 6 of 23. Bemidji State was no better. 3 of 19 for the three-point line tonight. That's one thing that Chelsea Stoltenberg, the head coach of the Beavers, will get a look at from her team tonight and say, okay, that number's got to improve a little bit throughout the course of the season. You're going to want a little bit better than that out there tonight. As far as the other numbers were concerned here tonight, turnovers, each team turned it over 16 times tonight. The rebounding advantage this evening, total rebounds, the Vikings outboard Bemidji State 44-39, 9-4 on the offensive glass. Your final score again tonight is 81-68. Valley City State with a victory, rather with Bemidji State with a victory over Valley City State tonight. Again, the Vikings up next on Tuesday at Mayville State. Football tomorrow on Q101 for Valley City State, as the Vikings will take on Montana Tech and the Ore Diggers in Butte, Montana. 1:30 pregame, 2 o'clock kickoff, and Highlander volleyball tomorrow here on KOVC as the Highlanders will go up against Carrington, trying to play their way into the tournament, into the state volleyball tournament. That is the state qualifying matchup coming up tomorrow. That'll do it for us here tonight. On the radio side, we'll send you back to regular programming. On the video side, thank you for joining us and working through a couple of difficulties that we had tonight. This has been Viking Basketball on the VCSU Athletics YouTube channel and the voice of the Vikings, the voice of the Valley, KOVC.
This is 1490 KOV.